know we told you we ain't playing no games, man. It's just surely probably Pablo, Culture, Lord Productions.
Good morning, South Florida.
This is the Big O Show.
You're tuned into the Big O Show.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. Judge, you tuned in to the hottest sports radio show with Orlando, a.k.a. the Big O. He covers all the South Florida teams, from the Dolphins to the Heat, well, you know what I mean. Monday to Friday, Friday Pablo in the Big O Show. O's on the radio, the top's where we gonna go. Miami, that's the way we roll. Locked on the morning show, Big O. No one has a similar show. Talk sports, talk plays, talk live and direct, because nobody do it better than Big O in the set. From sunrise, listen live, it's the best of the best. He's got the fans, got the heat, he's the best of the best. Big O, the only talking sports with a style. Break it a morning, it's Big O-N. Thank you for tuning in, keeping it glued in. Stay tuned, because right here's where the rumors in. Same place, because right here some of them begin. Simply call and just state your opinion. Real talk, sports talks, the Big O Show. Yeah, you love it, yeah, you like it, call him and let him know. Culture, Probably Pablo, now introducing the man of the hour, Big O, a.k.a. Orlando Austin Gary. Yeah.
All righty, yes, sir. We are ready to rock. We are ready to roll. That's why we're here at VSS West Pines, because if you're ready to roll, you come on out here and get your CBD products here at VSS West Pines, baby. Everybody's out here waiting for you, all right? Jason, Jose, everybody. Tommy, everybody is out here.
Sound like a song. Everybody.
Yes, everybody. So it's a beautiful thing, right? So we got everybody out here waiting for you, waiting to take care of you. We're at 12397 Pembroke Road. These are interesting little pipes that they're showing, and
the one closest to me, obviously, is the axe. It's the slash.
Kind of.
That's the slash.
That's the slash one, right?
Yeah, bro. Gotta be.
So
that's
you get
awesome.
your CBD products. They've got dabbing too, pure CBD for dabbing purposes. So come on out to 12397 Pembroke Road. Let me put these things down because they might fall, and I don't want to break any of these things. What is it? Is this ceramic or is it wood? I think this is wood, actually, right? Either way, I don't want them to break.
It feels like wood, yeah.
Right, it's wood, right?
Yep.
Yeah, just in case there. Anyway, so I don't feel like breaking them. And, you know, it is VSS West Pines, right? And the S is for safe sex. So we will give you free condoms when you come on out here. Male, female condoms. If you are gifted... You know, those of us that are gifted, there you go. So we've got them all for you. See, I mean, they do all kinds of services here. They sell hand sanitizer just in case. They've got all of your CBD products. They want you to practice safe sex. So come on out here and practice safe sex.
You're having a hard time finding toilet paper?
Yeah, that's right.
They got TP?
That's right. Get the Legend XL right here. It's succulent.
Bro, as usual, they are jamming, man.
I know.
One after the other,
starfish right now from the church. I love it. Anyway, welcome aboard. We got a lot of things to talk about today on the program. That's what you're going to love about. I always tell you guys to come on out to VSS West Pines, okay, just to look around. That's all. That's it. That's all I want you to do. Is come to 12397 Pembroke Road and just go, O tells me all the time to come out here and just to check it out, okay? All the different items they have here, it's pretty cool. It really is. You're going to like something, trust me, on all of that. Anyway, so we got Myron Sanchez already with the super chat today. And he got political on us. He says, F Trump, Black Lives Matter, the whole world thinks you are a racist, Trump. That's what Myron is chiming in with his Super Chat. What? Super Chat.
No way.
Yes way. No way. Yes way.
They were fantastic.
Super Chat. Myron is pumped up today. Good morning, Myron. Thank you, my man.
Is he competing with Ricky Perez for the record of chime in here?
Yeah, he's rocking it, dude. John Rouse is in the house.
Sup, John?
Brooklyn Rob says, good morning, all. Been a while, but I'm back to listen to the Great Big O. I don't know about the Great Big O, but thank you for listening to us and hanging out with us for the next couple of hours. Y2VGAA, can you make it a little easier, man? Good morning, Big O. You are one of the best at what you do, and I definitely appreciate it. A lifetime listener. Thank you, Y2VGAA. You got to give yourself a name, bro. Okay? It's hard to just keep going and mentioning all the letters. Leticia Erazo is in the house. Thank you, Leticia. NorCal says, VSS, smoking hot morning to the Big O Show crew listeners and chatters. Troy Ortiz is in the house. Matthew Walker. Matt Gibson says, morning, Big O. Who is your sleeper player for the Dolphins this year? You know, the thing, Matt, where that's like an unfair question is I haven't watched any of the young guys, at least for training camp and preseason, so I can say, you know, get a better feel for some of these guys that I don't know, and then maybe I can make them one of my sleepers. Let me see if I can. Let me pull up their roster. If just to appease you out there.
Could Preston Williams fall in that because of the limited? We have an idea, right?
Nah. He wants like somebody that is
totally off the radar.
Yeah, he wants somebody that is going to come off the radar. Let me pull up the depth chart for the Dolphins.
You think this is for fantasy purpose, though?
No.
Okay.
I think this is a real Dolphin that wants to hear about a guy that maybe I think is going to bounce back.
So this is for the Dolphin team, not the fantasy. You know, there's always that different angle.
Yeah. Hey, how about Jakeem Grant bouncing back? Now that's not a sleeper. So you want sleeper. Somebody that maybe will come out of nowhere and become that guy. Let me see. Trying to look at it. I'm looking at the roster right now. I'm trying to look at somebody that that maybe had a down year or, like a Cordrea Tankersley, but I'm not picking him. But something along those lines, I think, is what he's kind of looking for.
Could Gesicki blow up and become a top 5 tight end?
But he kind of took a step forward last year, so it's not.
He's already in the way of
he's
out
already
of sleep.
He's already trending in the right direction.
He's awake, but he hasn't gotten out of bed.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go Michael Dieter. I'm going to go Michael Dieter because he's in his second year. Physically, he should be developing already. Weight room, all of that. Mentally, he had a year under his belt. I'm going to give Dieter a little hope here as your guy that will take that next step and kind of justify the third-round pick from last year. How about that? All right, looking at the roster, right now, I'll pick Dieter. If I get to see a training camp and then I get to see some of these guys and say, hey, maybe I like this guy, I think he can elevate, I might add somebody else down the line. But let's go Michael Dieter now, okay? Somebody from last year, and they got to turn the corner. Let's do that. What else do we have here? Matthew Walker says 45 is a coward, used tear gas on his own citizens to take a stupid photo op. That was pretty ugly. Mile High Beauty says, I agree with Myron. Yeah, the Mile High Beauty is checking in. Billy Batson says Trump rocks. Mike Monaco from the Bronx says, I'm with you, Billy. Got to give both sides. Let's see. Alex Diaz says, good morning, O and Bill. Hope all is well. Let's see. Monaco says, man, went from hundreds watching to 31 now. Well, we got 39 now. I mean, we go over the hundreds, and we get to 200 sometimes now.
We got a Zonka in viewing.
Yeah, it's less now because the draft was last month, so that kind of helped out a lot in April, and then May kind of was a month where we're talking off the draft and then talking about these teams, and now June. This is really tough right now. A lot of people are they're kind of frustrated because. A lot of people may have tuned into us at one point live because of the draft stuff, and then what happened right after. But most everybody, it's usually downloads, man. That's where our crowd is normally. The live crowd, it kind of fluctuates. It's one of those deals. The live crowd obviously is the most hardcore because they're here every day and they're with us every single day, so it's really cool. But man, you got to remember this audience is all. It's the people watching on YouTube, it's the folks downloading the broadcast, it's the people live. It's a lot of people combined when you put it all together. And we are adding. It might be today. I'm not sure if Philippe is adding it, but Facebook Live is also going to be added too. So that's going to be another way that people are going to be able to watch us too, because he's adding some technical stuff with it and whatever. So we're hopefully headed in that direction too to grow the audience and some of the people that are on Facebook. Let's see, what else do we have? Dieter, I think, will turn it around this year. That's what NorCal says. George says. Winter storm watch is in effect. Hang in there. Let's see. What else do we have? Monaco says, I sent my friends a month ago. I asked them recently, have you all been watching? They said, no, it's too liberal based. Okay. All right. That's hey, listen, man. If you're a political little bitch, I can't help it, man. If you're a tight ass Democrat or Republican, I can't help you, man. You know what I mean? So it's those kind of people. I'd rather you not even support the show or watch. To be honest with you, really. If you're too butthurt to hear somebody else's opinion, that you're too weak. One of my best friends is a Trump guy. Loves Trump. He's my best friend. What am I going to do? Not be my best friend? Not talk to him? Not hang out with him? Not go to concerts with him? Whatever? No. You can agree and disagree on the politics side. The people that base their politics on their relationships, that's weak, bro. That's some weak sauce, bro. But that, to me, again, I tell you guys all the time, I have voted for Republicans and Democrats. So to me, it doesn't matter. I don't really look at a side. You know what I mean? So I don't care if you have a difference of, we can disagree, but if your little weak ass self can't handle somebody else's opinion or a difference of sides, then, what can I tell you, man? What can I tell you? What can I tell you, my man? Let's see. Mile High Beauty, let's be honest, America has never been great. No, it has not. Let's see. Big O, I find it weird that George Floyd took a Kaepernick to the neck. You find it weird? I don't know. I don't understand that question, Billy. Not exactly sure what that means. No government has ever been great. We the people need to be great. I'll start with me and my friends and my family. Let's see. What else? What happened to women must be believed? Oh, well, I'll tell you, that statement actually goes with everything. You can't believe anything. You have to check everything. You have to verify everything. That's kind of what it is. Why? Because every phase of our lives, everybody's lying. Men, women, it doesn't matter. Politicians, policemen, So everything has to be verified now. It's not a matter of just having to believe. You can believe people when they've earned the credibility to believe them. But unfortunately, it's kind of like the government is trying to tell you, okay, look, we can start to open up the country a little bit more, but let's be responsible. Now it's up to you to be responsible. They're telling you, hey, you can leave your house now. You can start to do some of the things, but keep your social distance. Use your mask when you go into stores and things like that, right? But then you've got 4,000 idiots that got into a pool in the Ozarks. So, it gets to a point where we could give you a certain amount of leeway, but then it's up to you what you do with that. You know what I mean? And so back in, 30, 50, 100 years ago, you could believe a woman. You know what I mean? Now you can't believe a woman. Now you can't believe a police officer. Maybe 50 years ago, police officers were somewhat more honest. I don't know. I doubt it because racism was always there. But my point is, nothing can be believed nowadays. Nothing. Everything needs to be verified. And it's not a matter of insulting anybody. It's not a matter of not wanting somebody to be believed. It's just, this is where we're at, unfortunately, because people lie all the time. We are falling into one of the oldest traps: divide and conquer, strength and honor. It's not it's not defined by color. It's defined by actions. Yep, you are correct. You are correct. But that's kind of a tactic to divide people. It's always been something of a way for people to get their way, is by dividing you. John Rouse says women must be believed unless it's a Democrat being accused.
I think it's probably harder to get away with stuff today than it was back, because you got cameras,
right?
You've got stuff tracking you. You've got a paper trail or your phone. There's
Digital
more.
imprint, yeah.
Yep, it's a lot harder to do things than it was back in the day.
Pat in Asheville says, it's my birthday. Wish that we all became more accepting of other people and their views and experiences. Amen, Pat.
Happy birthday, man.
Amen, my brother. Amen. I'm with you. Happy birthday, Pat.
No singing.
Have a perfect day, my brother, and may a good drink be yours today. All right? If we were out there, we'd treat you to a drink.
We'd play the happy birthday song if we could, but
Yep.
it's a non-option.
So we got basketball, I guess, pretty close to returning now. And they're talking about the 22 teams. It'll be 16 playoff teams and then 6 other teams that are within, I think, 6 games of a playoff spot, regardless of conference. By the way, because I think I want to say it's 13 in the Western and 9 in the Eastern is what's going to be part of those 22 teams that are in the model right now that needs to be approved now. It'll be tomorrow. They'll meet with the Board of Governors in the NBA, and they'll try to approve it. They want the last day of the season to be October 12th. And that way they can have, a little bit of an off season and probably start somewhere in December again, late December, restart the season for the 2020-2021 season. Barely, just a little bit of the 2020 season left there to, but it'll be mostly all played in 2021, the following season. Now this has to be it's going to be approved. I'm sure they'll tweak something here or there, but the NBA's got their crap together. They're going to come back. They're going to figure it all out. The MLS has, but what I like about this is that you're not going to come back with all 30 teams. And there's no need to. Okay? Teams like Golden State, they don't want to come back. You know, there are just certain teams you don't need to see the Knicks again. Okay? It's over for those kind of teams. And in a way, that's how it should be for some of these leagues that, you know, hockey too. Hockey, you should only allow the teams that were right on the outside looking in on the playoffs. At the back end, you don't need to see those teams, man. It's useless at that point. Give the teams that are right there on the outside looking in some kind of a fair shot, or they're all included in a tournament like what hockey did and now what basketball is doing, that at least you give them an opportunity on the back end to try to sneak in and get into the playoffs. And I think there's a lot of people have talked about this, that it might be powered a little bit by Zion too, because on the back end you've got Zion's team right there on the cusp. So this allows a little excitement on the back end. And I like it on the marketing side too, because Zion's game was really, really coming around, and he was playing some good basketball. So I understand the method behind the madness there and the marketing side of it. But what I like is that the NBA looks like, you know, an opening tip on July 31st, which, by the way, folks, still means that we're a ways away from seeing sports, right? Because even if baseball can return, it'll be sometime in early July. So hopefully by early July, we're in the middle. We're starting to watch baseball. We're starting to finish hockey. We're also starting back up again the MLS season, which would be really, really nice. And then we've got basketball and then coming right after that. Now, this is all pending that we are headed in the right direction with the coronavirus. I don't know if you know this, but our corona death rate 2 days ago was 730 deaths in this country. Yesterday was 1,134.
How many? The difference of how many days?
Yes, 2 days ago, 730.
400 increase in 2 days.
And then yesterday was 1,134. Now, I don't know.
That's not good, bro.
No, I know.
That's bad.
Yeah, that's bad. And I've got the...
That's about 40% increase, uptick.
Right. And
go from 7 whatever to add another 400 to get to 11. Yeah, you're looking about a 40-something increase, bro. That's
right now. Right now it's at 214. Okay, it was like a 1-something when I was because I've got the live one, the live rate right now going on, and I don't know. I'm going to be interested to see what goes on today and where it's at. Does it come back down again drastically? And so then, you know what I mean? So
they're talking about all the protesters being together,
right,
that in their major cities,
right,
that we could see another crippling.
Right. So that's where, again, this is all pending that this all paces the right way and we're able to, keep the curve down on all of this.
Have they talked about once they all get together, are we going to have to do a 2-week quarantine to make sure everybody's good to go and then bust it out?
No, because they all get tested while they're in training camp.
Every day is what they're all talking about.
Right. And I think with the basketball thing, they're all reporting to one hub. So I think it all starts there.
Probably looking like Orlando, right?
Now, they haven't told us exactly yet because there has been talk of you train in your own city for 2 weeks and then you head to the hub. But all these things haven't been finalized yet. So we're still waiting for them to agree on all of this. But, man,
whenever their initial get-together is because of that 2-week dormant thing possibility, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They got to factor that in somehow, right?
Yeah. And listen, right when the season ends on October 12th, they want to have the draft right after and free agency right after. Okay, so it's like they want throughout that month of October and early November, you're going to be taking care of draft and free agency.
So once they get going, man, they're going to bombard us, and we're going to be like, wow, every day, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah. And this the down part for the NBA is that when they do free agency, it's in the summer, and they kind of have it to themselves. Now, when they have free agency, it'll be in the middle of football season. And so we're going to get bombarded with football, with NBA free. And not that, at least for us Heat fans, NBA free agency isn't really a big thing for us because, one, there's going to be less money available to everybody else. And this wasn't the year they were going to have flexibility anyways. It's the following season where they were hoping to have that flexibility. And again, we don't know how much this pandemic and everything that everybody's lost, how much it's going to alter the cap and the cap space that they were supposed to have down the line. So all of this here with the NBA returning, I mean, I love that all of this is at least being talked about and we're getting closer. But again, I just gave you the numbers on coronavirus, okay? And I gave you the current number right now where it stands for today at 214. So, and you know what? It's 12:12. I'll update it. Oh, it's 2:32 now. Okay? I'll update it as the show goes on because I've got the live feed right now. UK's at 359 and Mexico is at 470 already today. Okay? Because Mexico is now in the middle of theirs now where their pandemic is actually now starting to climb like Brazil.
I was going to say, are they going to rival Brazil, man? Yeah. Because of the conditions.
Yeah, maybe. It could happen. Man. I mean, you know, Mexico City has like 22, 23 million people. Okay, like
it's one of the most populated cities in the world.
Yeah. It dwarfs Los Angeles.
That's hard to do, man.
Okay, LA is like 14, 15 million, and Mexico's over 20. It's crazy, bro.
Can you imagine the traffic situation there, man?
Yeah. Let's see. What else do we have here? I guess you guys are going back and forth of, I guess the politics have got you guys going on, huh? All right. It's Ian from Brooklyn goes, it's great to see open discussion without disrespect.
That is rare with politics. The further you get into the conversation, somewhere, somehow, mud gets thrown, and that's it.
It won't happen. It won't happen.
There's that old bar, you don't talk religion, you don't talk politics.
Yeah, it won't happen. People get too butthurt with politics.
Good luck out there.
Yeah. They get really, really touchy with the politics. All right, anyway, if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, you can reach out to us at 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105. Julius 305 chimes in on a super chat. And thank you, Julius 305. But it's kind of disappointing because he put on it closing chat, only listening to Big O. Because you guys got too heavy into politics on the chat.
What's going on in there?
Super chat.
Excuse me a sec. What are you babbling about?
Super chat. Super chat.
We'll all
super chat.
It'll be anarchy. It's out of my hands.
There you go. All right. So, what's it called? John Santos says, Big O, my wife works as an assistant in a living facility. One of her coworkers showed up positive for the coronavirus. I'm going to get tested today. I'm very scared. Hang in there, John, man. That's scary.
Thoughts and prayers, man.
Yeah, man, that's scary, man. Hopefully you don't have it. Hopefully your wife didn't get it, because those are the things you don't know what the hell that thing can do, man. That thing can do all kinds of damage that we're still trying to figure out the kind of damage, short-term and long-term, this thing can cause.
Listening to CNN this morning, Gupta was talking about the fact that I think Fauci said they're looking at 100 million vaccines if they work. We know that we're jumping in and we're mass producing stuff without the full increment of tests, the stages usual, but it's in case that one of them hits that they can hit the ground running. That's their thought process. And they're saying that by January, there could be 100 million vaccines available. Now, because of the lack of stage 3, I think it's stage 4 testing going through, we're not going to know if they're fully workable, but it's, good news in some capacity.
If you guys, for those of you if you want to get out of the chat board because people are getting too political on there, you can always email. You can always send us a text if you have your questions and comments. We'll do that. That way you don't have to worry about the chat board, and you can just send it in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, 786-322-1105. That's a nice way to chime in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, and also on the email, orlando@bigoradioshow.com. That's the other way that you guys can chime in, or on Twitter, actually, at Big O Show is the other way that you can actually chime in. But the text will definitely be a nice way to get away from the chat board if people are getting too political on there at 786-322-1105.
Reach out options.
RVA in Richmond says, my bounce back player is Kalen Ballage. Interesting. With Breida and Howard here, Ballage will have less opportunities, so he is going to have to, Kalen Ballage is a guy now. We've got a couple of guys on this team that are at crossroads in their careers, and they will be forgotten right away if they show up and they screw around. And one of them is Kalen Ballage, because Kalen Ballage has to deal with Matt Breida and Howard, right? And, Myles Gaskin is there. What's the name of the little white kid that can catch the ball? What's his name? I like him, man. Damn it. You know who I'm talking about.
The one that got the starting job by default at the end of the year.
Yeah, at the end, yes. I like him anyway. I think he could be a pass catcher out of the backfield. I don't think he's ever going to be an every down back or anything like that, but maybe a pass catcher out of the backfield. I'm brain farting now. I don't know why I'm forgetting him. But Ballage, because of all the people that are involved in the running game, he's not going to have a lot of opportunities to shine. So the few he gets, the guy has to explode. He has to be busting up tackles, running people over, not dropping a damn thing, not missing a block. Okay? You got the name?
Patrick Laird.
Patrick Laird. Thank you. Oh, there it goes. Brooklyn Rob, Omar, David, Joe, all coming in with Laird. Thank you very much also, guys, on the chat board. We got you away from politics.
We'd like to thank our lads for the depth chart.
Yeah, it was a nice job getting you guys away from politics, too. So, anyway, so he's one of those guys that does not have a luxury anymore. The draft pick, the time, all of that's all run out. It's interesting because a rebuild that maybe you thought was going to take a while, it's really one major rebuilding season last year. And then this year, it's kind of laying that foundation of players that you're going to build on for the future. And Kalen, if he doesn't establish himself immediately, he'll be casted aside. The aforementioned Cordrea Tankersley, the secondary is loaded, bro. Like the worst thing. Can you imagine being Cordrea Tankersley? Your rookie year sucked. You follow it up with an injury. You have to come back from that injury. Now you watch this team draft a guy, a couple of guys, sign a free agent. Your star corner is coming back. I mean, it is the worst situation for Cordrea Tankersley. So you look at Balaj and Tankersley, and they come into this Dolphin season with very little room for error. Because they will not have a lot of time. They will be casted aside immediately. If they're not impressing from the second they get off the car, if they walk too slowly to the building from the car to the building, Flores is going to be standing outside. Go, yeah, Kalen's out. He's done. What do you mean, Coach? We haven't even taken the. Did you see how slow he walked to the building? That guy's got no energy. He doesn't want it. He's out of here. I'm exaggerating, but I'm exaggerating, and then I'm not exaggerating.
I got a question for you, because of all the new acquisitions between the free agent and the rookies. Are we going to see some guys off this team that have value, and we're not going to get nothing back in return because the team's knowing we got to cut them? Is that a possibility?
Who are you talking about?
Exactly the two guys you just talked about.
I mean, if they're getting cut, they have no value. That's it. If they're getting cut,
so you don't think a
done.
sixth, a fifth rounder, not like?
No,
you don't see it.
No, I don't. Now, if they get cut, they have a shot at earning the last spot on this team. Like Kalen Balaj should be able to get the last spot on this team.
You would think,
if he impresses. But if he doesn't, the aforementioned Patrick Laird is the guy that I think will be the last running back, because he's a special teamer and he's also a running back. Okay?
Dual usage.
Yeah, and Kalen, they gave him some opportunity last year on special teams. And for a big guy, he can actually move.
Yeah, he can.
But again, it's up to him to go out there and just
with what we drafted,
ass.
It looks like we got 2 or 3 guys already that are going to be fighting for that returner job.
Right. So yeah, and that's why Balaj and Tankersley are 2 guys that they are up against it this year, man, in a big time way, and they have no time to screw around. The second they get out of their cars and walk into that building, they better be impressing in everything: classroom, weight room, practice field. They have to be impeccable. So those are 2 guys, because you mentioned Kalen Balaj. He's got a lot, that
and
he's
we're
gotta hang
talking
in there.
We're talking 55-man, and it's still a 10-man practice roster. Is that right, or did they increase? It's still 10.
Yes,
okay.
yes. It's 55 and 10, so it's 65. Yep. NorCal's asking me, Big O, who are the leaders, team captains on our Dolphins? Well, Van Noy, bet your ass that's the guy. Fitz is your guy on offense. Van Noy is your guy on defense. And on special teams, it's a good question there.
The safety we got from Cincinnati, because of his age and his experience in that area?
No, I think they'll give it to somebody that's already here on special teams. That's a good one, because I could go Van Noy and Fitz for sure for offense and defense. Special teams, man. That's a good one, dude. Because I don't know if they'll give it to a guy that they signed this year or definitely not drafted this year. But I'm trying to look at the names right now at who I would give it to on special teams. Well, I could give you somebody that if he comes in and kind of stays away injury-free, you can go with Jakeem, because he is one of the best returners in the NFL. And if things go well for him, he should be that guy that could be a leader for you on special teams. Joe Brito goes, no hands Balaj. Let's see. What else do we have here? All right. You guys are talking amongst yourself. Walt Aikens, is he even on this team anymore? Where is Walt Aikens? Is he here still? I don't think Walt Aikens is on this team. I'm looking at the roster here. I don't think he's here. Walt is gone, my man. I do not see a Walt Aikens on the roster. I thought he was gone. Yeah, I would go. Well, Jakeem would be one, but where, like the gentleman that mentioned Walt Aikens, that's who you would think would be more of a special teamer, a guy that is a cover guy, a tackling guy, that kind of stuff would be normally your special teams captain. And that's why Bill mentioned Fegellum or whatever his name is. Andrew Van Ginkel might be one of those guys that becomes a standout special teamer this year. Curtis Weaver might become a standout special teamer this year. Steven, I like the Stephen Parker kid. I kind of like him. I don't know if he'll turn into anything in the secondary or he'll help out on special teams. But right now, maybe a little Jakeem Grant on special teams for my captain.
It's really cool, though.
My captain.
You talked about it probably a month ago. Options. The Dolphins have options.
Yeah. Hey, if the Malcolm Perry becomes that, that Swiss Army knife that you use all over the place, special teams will be one where he's used a lot. He could turn into a captain. But these are all first-year guys. So I don't think they'll make a first-year guy a captain. Let's see. What about Neto, DT from Brazil? Does he have a legitimate chance? Yes, he does. But we got to see him. We got to see him. They all have a legitimate chance at this point. It's so young of a team. Big old practice squad is now 12 players. Oh, really? It went up to 12. You know what? I forgot about that myself. I didn't even remember that it went up to 12. There you go. They say it's 12 now.
So we got 67 bodies.
Yeah,
to play
55
with.
active, 12 on the practice squad. Wow, that's a lot. Super Boom Shack says Walt is a free agent. Yeah, he should be. I don't see him on this roster. What happens if Perry is the best quarterback during training camp? The Navy builds winners like that.
I remember watching the Army-Navy game and did see a little bit of a couple other Navy games. The kid can run. Kid's got heart.
Yeah.
But as far as throwing them, what would they throw? This was like Bob Greasy.
It's not going to be
right? 8 to 10 passes.
He's not even going to do that.
Right?
If anything, it's a gimmick pass here or there.
Usually it would be a pass to the running back, let him go out and catch the ball as the receiver, and our quarterbacks.
If they use the Perry kid as a quarterback, it'll be once or twice a year in some gimmick play or something. But it's not going to be,
close to the end zone.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not there. I don't think that's going to be something that's going to be used a whole ton. You know what I mean? First, let's see if Malcolm Perry's good enough to make the team. Okay, let's see if he's good enough to make plays on a consistent basis in the NFL. Let's see if he can handle the pounding of the NFL, all these things. First, we have to figure out if he can play before we make him a standout special teamer, a great returner, a quarterback, the captain, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of young guys on this team that have to prove that they belong here, okay? And you have to understand this. The whatever 12 guys they drafted, whatever the number is that they drafted, a lot of them are going to fail. So let's not make it sound like everybody is going to be a success. That would be really nice, and that would make Chris Greer the greatest GM of all time if every pick that they drafted hits. So there's going to be failures, and maybe Malcolm Perry is one of those. That's why when the gentleman asked me earlier, hey, who do you think is going to, kind of surprise people, shock? That's why I kind of went with somebody that was already here, because all the new people, I don't know enough of them. So now if I see him in training camp and preseason, I say, hey, you know what? I see something in this guy. I think he can, really develop into something. Then, and then you'll have a better feel. But right now, it's just There's too many unknowns.
Considering also the limited probably training camp, what do we got? 2 preseason games. Those guys to climb up the rung, you know what I mean? It's going to be hard.
Who knows, man? Jason Strobridge may be the guy that has 8 sacks this year and shocks us all, and it's like, wow, what a pickup as a rookie. Or the Webster kid, you know? We just don't know. Or Weaver, I mean, not Webster, Weaver. Or after everything we heard from Weaver, which sounds like a steal.
The kid was supposed to be in later than the third. No later, like first, second area.
And maybe he flops. And then we say, okay, well, now we know why he fell to the 5th. I don't know, man.
I got a question for you because
none of us are going to know about any of this stuff.
We are at the half.
Yes,
and with the premature start, we're 45 minutes in already. Sorry.
Yes. All right, let's do that. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back on the other side. I do have something that is not a good sign for sports lasting very long, which is the one thing that kind of scares you. We got a couple of other news and notes in football that I want to get to. Baseball's got some issues. The NFL's got someone who's completely delusional. We got to talk about that. Got a bunch of things to get to. Let's take a break. We'll come back with more. We are coming to you live from VSS West Pines, baby, 12397 Pembroke Road. Come on out here and say hi to us. We'll be out here for a while, for a couple of hours. 12397 Pembroke Road. Come on by. We've got some free condoms for you. See? I got a bag of condoms. We are ready for a lot of sex. A lot of sex right here.
Last time I saw free condoms, you know where I was?
Where were you?
Me and my girlfriend were down in the Keys at Sloppy Joe's.
Ah, there you go.
People down there passing out condoms.
We're at VSS West Pines, where SS stands for Safe Sex. Back with more right here on The Big O Show.
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with 0 down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021 at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
We're back.
Surrounded by glass.
Cock-a-doodle-doo. Cock-a-doodle-doo. If you're on video, you got that one. You'll enjoy it. Anyway, welcome back. We are coming to you live from VSS West Pines. Come on out here, 12397 Pembroke Road, baby. We'll be out here for a couple of hours having some fun. Come on by, get all of your CBD needs, whether it's for pain, whether it's for anxiety, you name it, man. Maybe you're a little wound tight right now, a lot of pressure going on with all the stress. Come on out here. You can get topicals, salve for pain, transdermal patches. You've got it all out here, man, and all kinds of water pipes. You've got the hookahs from $19.99 and up. Rolling papers, you name it. They got an enormous selection out here. So come on out and see Tommy and Jason and Jose and all the great people out here. They are ready to take care of you here at VSS West Pines. And come on by out here while we're here, too. Love to say hi. Love to meet you out here. The Raging Dolphin Maniac says, ever hear of the band Big Cock? Sounds a little like GNR. I have not. Raging Dolphin Maniac. I don't know if you really wanted me just to say Big Cock or there actually is a band called that.
Can I venture a guess?
He just wanted me to say it, right? Yeah. Yeah, that's probably it. There probably isn't a band called Big Cock. But hey, I'm not on radio, so it's all right, dude. We're on the internet, and
all of the rest of our listeners,
and I'm really not saying anything bad.
All the rest of our listeners that are like us, thinking thought, they're loving that you're saying. Say it one more time.
Yeah, it could be just a big cockfight. You just never know. It happens. It happens here in South Florida. Last time I used that one, lambskin, was about 15 years ago. Well, there you go. Omar says raw dog. Raging Dolphin Maniac goes, no, it's a real band. All right. Super Boom Shack. You can get her. Oh, okay. I can't keep going. We have customers in the store, so I want to make sure that we're not.
Is that one over the edge, man?
Yeah, that one was saying, because you guys are telling me about a band that
get reeled back in. You're going out too far. Come back to the boat a little bit. Thank you.
You guys are telling me that there was a band that sounds like a sexual object, or a rooster. I'm not exactly sure. Because
y'all are sick. You fit right in.
The big, right? So there you go. What can I tell you? All right, we got a lot of things to talk about here on the program. Let me see. First of all, in baseball, look, I want to see baseball come back, but I will tell you this. It's not a good look to cry poor. And the owner for the Cubs kind of came out, Tom Ricketts, in a way, and was kind of crying poor about baseball owners. And look, I get it. Everybody's losing money. But he comes out and he has these quotes. And he says, here's something I hope baseball fans understand. Rickett told ESPN. Most baseball owners don't take money out of their team. They raise all the revenue they can from tickets and media rights, and they take out their expenses, and they give all the money left to their GM to spend. The league itself does not make a lot of cash. I think there's a perception that we hoard cash and we take money out, and it's all sitting in piles we've collected over the years. Well, it isn't, because no one anticipated a pandemic. No one expects to have a drawdown on the reserves from the past. Every team has to figure out a way to plug the holes. The scale of losses across the league is biblical. The timing of the work stoppage, the inability to play was right before the season started. We're looking at 30 teams with zero revenue to cover the losses. All teams have gone out and borrowed. There's no other way to do it. In a short run, in the long run, we may be able to sell equity to cover some of our losses, but that's in the long run. Well, see, here's the problem, my man. If your team is worth so many billions, that's why you don't have stacks of money, because they're there when you sell it. And when we here in Miami watch an owner build a stadium and then sell it for $1 billion and he ends up keeping that billion that we used to build that stadium, because all that money that Jeffrey Loria lined his pockets with are all the bonds we owe for 30 years now on that thing. So he did line his pockets, and they all line their pockets once they sell. So you may not have the money at the moment, but it's there in value. So it's like Huizenga, the late Huizenga, playing that Marlins game with us that to this day I still call it BS. Oh, no, I'm losing so much money. No, he wasn't really losing that much money. Okay? Because he's looking at it just as the team, but he also owns the TV rights. So the company he was paying for TV rights is his company. It's his stadium that he was paying himself the mortgage or the rent for the baseball team. Since the football team owned the stadium, the baseball team pays the rent. Well, you control it because you control everything. So don't give me that Huizenga wasn't losing the kind of money he said he was losing in those days, because it's a shell game. And that's what I would say to Tom Ricketts. Dude, don't BS me with your shell game. I get that technically there isn't enough money coming in now to cover the expenses going out. I understand that there are losses right now, but you could easily solve that if you wanted to sell your team. The second you sell your team, you will make up for the little losses that you had this year, and you'll get billions in return, and you'll line your pockets for years. Again, go sell that crap to somebody else who cares, because I don't care. I don't want to hear about any losses from any owners. You're billionaires. You, me, we live month to month. Okay? All of this stuff can literally set us back. Okay? No owner is going to be homeless. Any of us could end up homeless because of this thing. That's the real deal there. What Tom Ricketts is going through, get the hell out of here, dude. Go get lost. They think we're covered. We got it in piles, saved up somewhere. Yeah, it's called equity. It's just not literally a pile of money sitting in your office. It's a pile of money that is sitting there because of the value of your team. That's all. So don't come crying here for sympathy. We're not giving it to you here, Tom Ricketts. You and your little Cubs. Whatever it is that you lost. I just saw that and it was like, are you kidding me, dude? Really? You're going to be crying poor. Why is it that baseball is the one sport that we have less sympathy for? You notice that? And I think it's because of all these moments. It's steroids, right? It's owners saying stupid things like this. It's lockouts. It's eliminating the 94 season, the World Series, and canceling it. It's baseball players are a-holes on average. It really is amazing how that's the one sport that gets the least amount of sympathy. Hockey gets a lot of sympathy because people kind of feel sorry for the sport because it's so low on the totem pole that they get the pity. You know what I mean? There's no pity. There's no sympathy at all for baseball players. I don't know if it's the arrogance. I don't know if it's all the lying and the steroids and everything that's gone on with the sport. But it really is amazing how baseball is the one that really just does not get that helping hand, that shoulder to cry on. You know what I mean? The public is really cold and calculated with baseball. Let's see. What do we have here? Big O owners could be hurting, dude, in DNC-controlled Chi-Town. Hey, man. That's, again, I got no sympathy for billionaires. You want to have sympathy for a billionaire, Billy, you go ahead and do that. For me, billionaires can go fly off a bridge, bro. Okay? I like the billionaires that actually are like, you know what? We're gonna, like Mark Cuban, like Viola and Sifu. They're all losing. But they're like, hey, you know what? I know our employees will lose more. We're going to take care of our employees through this pandemic. You know, not like the A's, not like the Boston Red Sox, and several other teams that have backed out and not supporting their employees. You're a billionaire, man. Nobody wants to hear about you losing some money because we all know that Chapter 11 is not coming after that. And we're not going to find you living under some bridge in Biscayne. Now, you and I, we could end up in one of those bridges in Biscayne. What bridge should we choose if we had to live under a bridge here in South Florida? What bridge would be comfortable to live under?
I got one.
Which one?
Used to cross it every other day. Bal Harbor. A bridge under Bal Harbor going from the main into Bal,
Oh, right by the Cadillac dealership?
Exactly.
Okay.
Because I've actually fished under there and stuff like that. And
But those are low bridges. You got some space down there?
Yeah, man. Used to fish under there.
Really?
My girlfriend, her sister, her husband,
Yeah,
four of us. Yeah,
We all should start scouting bridges. Seriously, man. The way this pandemic is going and drying up every resource possible and businesses going down
we'll,
left
of course,
and right.
have to find a electrical outlet so we could do the show under the bridge.
You know how many people are going to be out of work permanently after this is done? Like when this is like finally thoroughly done with us, and because
all the corps are looking at this as a chance to cut back.
Bars are sitting there going like, when are we going to open? You know what I mean? Like, this has destroyed our economy. This has destroyed so many lives. And I kid around, but it's like, seriously, man. This thing's going to beat up a lot of people, man. That's why when a billionaire is trying to tell us, have some sympathy for us. We are losing money, too, and we got to figure things out. Yeah, you're figuring it out by firing all kinds of people and furloughs and stuff like that. And look, I get it. Businesses, they don't have any money. How the hell are they going to pay for the employees? You know what I mean? But nobody wants to hear a billionaire cry poor. Nobody, dude. Because we all know that when the pandemic's over, we all have bills. We're all behind on everything. Billionaires are going to go, all right, we're good. We got billions in the bank. Yeah, we lost some money. That's like you and me losing a quarter today. You know? We got out of our car and a quarter bounced out of our pockets. And we're like, man, I heard it bounce. I don't know where it went. And you lost it. It's one of those deals. Okay, we can overcome the quarter. It's classless for me to hear a billionaire cry poor. I don't feel sorry for us too. Come on, man. I feel sorry for the man or the woman that's got 3 kids and has got to pay the rent, has got to feed those kids, and they don't know where to get the food, and then they've got to go find where they're giving free food away because that's the only way they're getting fed now. Those are the people I worry about. I don't want to hear about Tom Ricketts with the Cubs say, oh, well, we're losing money too. We don't have piles of cash sitting there. Dude, you own the Cubs. That's a pile of cash. Okay? You moron. Shut the hell up. Advice to billionaires. Shut up. Okay? That's my advice to billionaires. Shut the hell up. All right? You get to sit in your home, relax, do nothing, and you got billions in the bank. There are people that have to work and risk their lives for $8 an hour, for $7 an hour, for $12 an hour, and they may end up with corona. Nobody's feeling sorry for your billionaire ass. Okay?
The worst ratio that I heard was the equivalent of the A's guy not paying the minor leaguers is you having $100,000 and not wanting to part with $50.
Hey, Scott. Hey, Scott Boras is a horse's ass at times, right? He can be a tough dude, right? Guess what? He's paying all his minor leaguers. All his clients that are minor leaguers that are not getting paid.
He's coming out of pocket?
He's paying them. Why? Because he says that the teams are basically telling the players that, you guys are just fodder, you fill roster spots. And so he's like, you're killing dreams by doing that to them. And so he's like, I don't want to kill the dreams of my clients. So I'm going to pay them. That's strong.
I'm probably going to say this the first time. Props to him, man.
That's strong on his
I don't think I've ever said that about Boras.
You know what you got to say about Scott Boras every single time is always props to him. Do you know why? Because he gets his deals done for his clients. That's his job, Bill.
It's true.
You might hate it as a fan because your team is in a bitter contract dispute with the guy, but Scott Boras does his job and does it really, really well. That if you were a baseball player, if your son,
I want that guy every day and twice on Sunday.
If your son was a stud baseball player and Scott Boras wanted to represent him, you'd go, hell yeah, Scott, there you go.
We don't have to see anybody else.
Yeah, exactly.
Sign right now.
Right.
He's our guy.
Right. Why would you say that? Because as a parent, you would know that Scott Boras is going to take care of your son better than anybody else because his approach will get you the best deal out there because he does it all the freaking time. So while we dislike him in a sense of a fan and all that and the disruption, he is good to his clients.
He flat out kicks ass.
He does
at
his
job, man.
Right. So give him props for that, man, that he's going to take care of his clients and he's going to pay them. And Lord knows that guy, again, he's not going to cry poor. That's not what he's doing. He's not telling, hey, my clients are losing money. I'm losing money. He's not doing that. No. He's taking on MLB. He wants to do what's best, what he feels is best for his clients. And by the way, he must feel that it's what's best for his clients. He's not doing it to screw baseball, to screw the fans or whatever. Whatever advice he's giving his clients, he truly feels that that's what's best for them. And that's all he's worried about.
Well, you were just talking about corps and businesses and this and a bunch of jobs being lost. The minor leagues, man.
Oh, yeah.
That may be a thing of the past.
They were already talking about it before the pandemic.
This is the thing that just pushes it.
They were talking about eliminating 100 to 150 minor league teams. Okay? That's because they see what's coming ahead, is what I keep telling people. They know they don't see the revenue coming in as much as they used to. Yeah, they got their TV revenue, and those contracts are set. And they're fine for now. But that next TV deal, whenever it is in 6 years, those TV companies aren't going to be spending the same kind of money, and baseball knows it. And if you have less minor leagues, you have less players to actually prepare for the future. It becomes that much harder for you to create a baseball team. And that's because there's so much money that's involved because everybody has 4 or 5 minor league teams. You have AA, AAA, and then you have instructional. You have rookie league. You may have a Dominican academy. You may have a Puerto Rican academy, whatever. So there's all kinds of expenses in baseball. But that's why I think it's going the other way. just don't cry poor, man. That's all. Do whatever you got to do, get through it. But there's millions of all of you out there that are truly struggling right now. And that's what the billionaires should be saying. Hey, look, we're going to get by. We'll figure this thing out. I feel more for Americans out there that are fighting to survive every day. You know, that kind of stuff. Stephen Ross doesn't ever cry poor. You don't hear about, oh, well, you know, I paid for our stadium and I helped bring the tennis tournament over, and I'm building the practice facility, and I'm losing money, and I need help. No, you know what he does? He tells you, no, I'm donating more money to feed more people. Yeah, I'm not making money right now as much, but I'm a billionaire. I'll take care of my people, and I'm going to feed people that are hungry. That's what a billionaire does in these kind of times. That's how you're supposed to act. The way Stephen Ross is acting. Not talking about money. He's not talking about what he's losing, what he's not making. He's not, because Stephen Ross understands that whatever I'm losing is a joke anyway. All right, so I'm not going to make an extra $50 million. Wow, man, yeah, that really hurts my $4 billion bottom line. Come on, man.
Let me ask you a question. When you see David Price do what he did, a couple of teams, one of them being our Marlins, stepping up, doing the minors. Obviously, Boris taking care of all his clients.
Yeah.
Do you think some of these owners have enough of a conscience to feel bad and almost be guilted into stepping up, or they just don't, and it's all about the money?
That's why they're rich, Bill, because they're cold. That's why billionaires and millionaires are what they are, because you have to make really tough and cold, calculated decisions, and you can't have a conscience about some of this stuff.
I just hate the heartlessness, man.
Yeah, but that's what got him there. You know? Now, there are people like Stephen Ross that has a heart, and Bill Gates that has a heart, and Mark Cuban that has a heart. You know, these people carry themselves the right way. They have now reached a pinnacle, and now they use that pulpit and that power to do positive things. You know, and Stephen Ross has the Rise program and all the other things that he does, and he walks the walk that he talks. You know, you can't have the Rise program and then not hire a minority in your organization, and they're all white. So the guy believes in Rise, and he goes and hires a black general manager who then hires a black head coach. You can't do one and not do the other. If you're going to do it, you have to set the example. And so, yeah, people like that, they just have to be commended that you get to a point in life where you can give back. You know what I mean? Look at I gave Floyd Mayweather a lot of love yesterday. He is paying for the funeral services for George Floyd in 4 different cities, man. Okay, that he doesn't have to do that. Steven Jackson, that emotional speech he had where he's, you know, talk about how he's going to take care of George Floyd's daughter, and he's going to be there to hold her hand. He's going to be there to walk her down the aisle when she gets married. You know, that kind of stuff is priceless, man. You get to a point where you can give back, that's what you do. But if you're in a point of power, don't show weakness.
Here.
And Tom Ricketts is a billionaire and crying poor for the Cubs.
You were talking about screening cops and, you know, the procedure of getting the. Maybe we should start screening the owners a little better, man. Are you a decent person?
Well, I mean, but that's not a requirement to be an owner.
But you know what I'm saying, though.
I get what you're saying, but in the end, it's about winning. You know what I mean? That's all we care about in sports. The pandemic stuff happens once every 100 years. So this is not something that is going to be common for an owner to have to deal with. But winning is. And that's how you get. Look, Stephen Ross is a great man. He hasn't won jack yet. You know, on the sports side, he has made a lot of bad decisions. Now's when it looks like he's making the good decisions, and hopefully it'll pay off for the man. But Stephen Ross, as an owner, as a football owner, it doesn't get the A grade because there is no winning involved. You know what I mean?
It's coming. It is coming.
No, I believe it's coming too.
Yeah.
I believe it. John Rouse says, did Jeffrey Luria own Luria's department store? Are you talking about Jeffrey Luria, our baseball owner, or Jeffrey Lurie, the owner of the Eagles? Neither one owned Luria's. So just in case. It didn't matter which one. One was an art guy, and he got it mostly from his wife. And then the other guy, I think, is cars.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Yes.
I think Jeff Lurie, I think, is a car guy, I want to say. I'm not sure. Got to look it up.
Our guy from the Marlins was a shell game dude that got lent money to get Montreal. That got lent money to get the Marlins.
And his wife.
Parachuted out.
His wife is the one that, really.
He's
his ex-wife,
you know what?
is the one that
He was a hell of a con man, okay? Because for the MLB to set you up twice, you not come to the table with the money for the team, and you get to do that twice, man. Yeah. And parachute out fat the way he did after we built a stadium for, man, you want to talk about a con man, bro?
Alex says, David Sampson looks like a horse's ass saying that Boris was crying crocodile tears at Jose Fernandez's funeral. What a jerk thing to say by Sampson. Oh, whatever. Sampson, it's David Sampson, dude. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, man. That guy's been a weasel from day one. That's all right. People still fall for the David Sampson bit. All right, let's take a quick break. We'll come back on the other side. We got some news that could lead to questioning whether sports will return. That's next.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with 0 down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021. At Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. Big O Show.
We're back. All right.
I don't get you very often, but I love
Hour number 2 right here on the program, coming to you live, baby, from VSS West Pines, 12397 Pembroke Road. Come on out here. Join us, man, for all of your CBD needs. Tomorrow we'll be at Toyota of Hollywood, 1841 North State Road 7. We'll be out there hanging out with Steve Ostrov and Herbie Lopez and Gary Thompson and Asric Smith and Rick and Eddie and Joel Rubio, all the great people out there at Toyota of Hollywood, just a couple blocks south of that big, beautiful guitar right off the turnpike. So come on out there. We'll be out there from 11 to 2. We'll be broadcasting out there. Join us. We'll have a little fun out there at Toyota of Hollywood. Then on Friday, we'll be at Craig Zinn's, Acura of Pembroke Pines, and we'll have a good time over there at Craig Zinn's on Friday from 11 to 2, also there at Craig Zinn's, Acura of Pembroke Pines. Bro Marshmelly says, Big O, will the NFL have preseason games, and is the NBA going to play 3 games at the ESPN Sports Complex at Disney World? Bromar, I don't have any of those answers because I'm not sure yet. We don't know. And let me ask you, we still don't know if we're going to get sports back. The positives is that we have some of these other leagues starting. Now, example, the Yomiuri Giants from Japan, the most famous team in Japan, called off a preseason game on Wednesday with reports that at least one player may have tested positive for the coronavirus. Actually, it was 2 players testing positive for the coronavirus. Okay? 2 people tested positive for the coronavirus. Japan hopes to open its baseball season on June 19th. The 12-team league will play in stadiums without fans. Japanese media citing Giants team officials reported the players are infielder Hayato Sakamoto and catcher Takumi Oshiro. It says the 2 players are in a practice game earlier in the week. There's no immediate indication that this would change plans to start the season. The Hanshin Tigers reported that at least one player tested positive several months ago. Sports in Japan has been suspended for more than 2 months because of the coronavirus pandemic. So this is the example that we're getting here. And they don't have as many players as we do. They don't have as many teams as we do. So our job, and think about this, the way baseball's doing it, they've eliminated the minor league season. Because it would have to be, that's why it's not going to be a 24-man roster. It's going to be 30, 35, 40 people in the roster for sure, because people will get injured and you're going to need other people. And there are no minors. So this is going to be really odd. Think about it if baseball had to come back with the minors and testing everybody, majors and minors. That's why when we see all of this, it's great to hear about basketball coming back. It's great to hear about hockey and that actually the Panthers will be in the playoffs. It's great to hear about the NFL having plans in college football and basketball. But, man, if they can't control this virus and they've got people testing positive, I don't know if you saw this, but did you see the Oklahoma State linebacker? Did you see what happened to the Oklahoma State linebacker?
No, what happened?
Well, Oklahoma State linebacker Amen Agba-Bigema says he tested positive for COVID-19 after attending a protest in Tulsa. That's right. After attending a protest in Tulsa and being well protective of myself, I have tested positive for COVID-19. Please, if you're going to protest, take care of yourself and stay safe. Do you know how many people have gotten sick over the last couple of days? How many people have passed it on to others? That's why it's one of those where I want to get excited about sports, but I want to kind of temper my enthusiasm because I'm kind of afraid of what's going on around us. You know, some people say we're going to have to go through this like the virus, that it's just going to have to go through everybody, and then we're going to have to suffer the consequences and then kind of move on, because then we build the antibodies on all of us and we're able to fight it off more and all that crap. Look, I'm not a doctor, all right? I didn't sleep at a Holiday Inn last night. I have no idea. I don't know what theory is right, because none of us, if the experts don't know everything about this damn thing, how are you and I going to know? You know what I mean? At first they told us the mask didn't do you any good. Now they want you to wear a mask. Now they find out it is airborne. Now they find out that it could be permanent, that you could have damage that could stay with you. You know what I mean? If you have any pre-existing conditions, this thing might just finish your ass out. Every day we find out more and more about this thing.
And you know what? Look, we need to get back to some semblance of normalcy. But I get that, but we had originally said that we were going to have to see a downtick for X amount of time, and I don't see that. And we're opening up, and there's all this that we don't know, man. Are we doing the right thing, man? Is this going to come back and smack us?
The problem is, Bill, nobody knows. That's the problem. That's
so even more so not to jump, right?
This is what I try to tell the people that are either Democrats or Republicans that want to make it a political thing, and you want to pick on Trump, or you want to pick on the UK, or you want to pick on China, or you want to pick on whatever. None of us know how to handle this thing.
Bro, when you don't know how deep it is, you don't jump, and we're jumping, man.
Everybody, if the experts are learning about the virus, how in the hell are the rest of us going to know how to either protect or deal with it? So we're all learning about this damn thing. So that's why everybody's going to make 4,000 mistakes along the way.
We're looking to open
up. We're going to cost lives, and we're going to do it. But we don't know how long. Do you stay closed and then what? Ruin everybody's life financially?
No.
And then that will create all kinds of other problems. And then if you open, you try to open, but you want to be responsible in the way you open. But then you got 5,000 idiots packing a pool in the Ozarks. Like, if they're opening, the idea is to maintain your distance, wear a mask, not pile on top of each other like morons in a pool. That's why you're going to get it. You know what I mean? But it's all part of common sense. And we don't use the common sense.
Okay, but look, here's this young man that went and did the right thing, protest and everything, and he did everything to be safe, and he still got corona. Now, with all the...
Did he really do everything to be safe?
Well, that's what he said. Are you
No. What protest was there social distancing? Please explain.
Zero.
So then you didn't do it safe. You understand what I'm saying now?
Well, how many of our pro athletes were involved with these protests?
Exactly.
And now they want to get together and let's get them together and spread it.
Well, but that's my point. The idea was, okay, start to get back to normal, but do it on a responsible fashion. So if 200 idiots are going to pack the streets in Daytona or Jacksonville, I forgot which one it was, and they were all, I think it was Daytona, and they were all on top of each other throwing money up in the air, making it rain, there's COVID. If 500 idiots are going to get on top of each other in a pool, there's COVID. If you're going to go protest all over and you're going to be next to each other, there's COVID. And I get it. I have no problem with the protest, but you got to try to do social distancing. And there was no social distancing going on at all in any protest. So you're protesting, but you're also putting lives at risk. And that's why I wanted to give you the numbers. What was the last number I gave you for the United States? Was 232, right? Let's see where we're at right now. 508. It went from
What,
232
in an hour and
508 now.
I want to say you said that.
No more, not even an hour ago. Not even an hour ago. It's up to 508 already. Okay?
What was your number? 2 something? It's double.
232.
It's
It
double.
more than double. 232, 508. Okay?
Yeah.
For
Because that would be
those, for those,
464.
for those of you just tuning in, because we've seen since they reopened, everybody's getting on top of each other and protest and all that, and we've had a lot of protests the last couple of days. 2 days ago, the death in this country was 730. Yesterday was 1,134. We're already at 500 now. Okay? I'm just saying, So and at 2 o'clock, it's 116. At 2 o'clock, I'll give you the count again. And this is what we were afraid of, and I hope that's not the direction we're going in. You know what I mean? I hope it's not the case, but I'm just giving you examples that you see the Yomiuri Giants, and you see 2 players testing positive, and that could. They say that it's not going to stop their season yet, but you know what I mean? This starts putting people at risk. And then I show you an Oklahoma State player that went to a protest and now got sick. Somebody already got sick from that pool scene in the Ozarks. We talked about that yesterday. And I'm sure we're going to find out about more people.
They're trying to do the tracing off the pool to see where the tentacles go.
Yeah. And they'll figure it all out, and there'll be a bunch of people.
You think some of those young people are like freaking out, like, man, I can't go to grandma's house this week because
I don't know. Man. Some young people
have no don't even. Yeah, they just.
And then
what's next? What's next? What's next?
I think the ones that have a conscience
we're nowhere near the pool.
Right, we're never there. Right. I wouldn't go to that pool any time in my life. I wouldn't go in that pool. When I was 12 and I didn't know any better, yeah. But now, I would never go in that pool. Ever. Forget COVID, dude. That pool is disgusting. That's a gross scene that I saw in the Ozarks. Seriously. Absolutely disgusting, bro. I would bathe in acid if I had to actually go in that pool. Okay? Myron says, George, I feel like billionaires and millionaires don't care unless it starts to affect their pockets. That's right. Kenneth Cleveland says, Big O, did you hear that Joe Rose was very complimentary of you this morning on his show? I have no idea. Did he? Have no idea. But I appreciate it. Joe's a good dude. I got nothing bad to say about Joe. Joe is just fine, baby. Let's see. I always had fun going back and forth with Joe, talking about sports. Let's see. What else do we have here on it? Big O, the earliest I could see minor league baseball returning next season or 2022. You bring up a good point, man. You might be right. It might be around that time. 2022 might make a lot of sense at that point. Yeah.
If some of these professional athletes to partake in the protest contract COVID, can we see like all this coming to a halt? All this advancement, us trying to figure out how to get it together.
If what again?
If some of these professional athletes that have gone to protest, we've seen them, contract COVID.
Oh, yeah.
Does that put the brakes on the whole operation? Or then we got to rethink
no, because
try to build a better
no, because you're gonna have to quarantine them and then you can get them back in.
Okay.
But I think it's gonna go through the first phase of getting everybody in and then testing and then see where you're at when you test everybody. Look at Frank Martin. Frank Martin tested positive for COVID-19, South Carolina coach, and it was one of those things that freaked him out. So yeah.
Every blip of COVID makes you have to find another track and rebuild this per se mousetrap.
Yep, exactly. All right, 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, you can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Follow us there as always. Now, I told you about Tom Ricketts, the owner for the Cubs, kind of tone deaf and kind of crying poor, right? Did you guys hear Vic Fangio for the Broncos?
I didn't. I got into it a little bit. I did see, yeah.
So Fangio says there's no racism in the NFL at all. He goes, we're in a league of that where you earn what you get. I don't see racism at all in the NFL. I don't see discrimination in the NFL. Okay, does he see what went on in Detroit?
Bro, he was in Chicago. He was in Chicago.
Patricia?
Yes, he saw it firsthand because he's in the same division.
Come on, bro. They hired Matt Patricia by getting rid of Jim Caldwell, and nobody has hired Jim Caldwell since to be a head coach, and he had a better run at head coach than 70% of the coaches in this league. Come on, man. He doesn't see that there are no black general managers practically. There's like one or two. I think there's two. I think it's Chris and somebody else. I forgot who it is. But there's like two, and there's like four coaches in the NFL that are minorities. Because Ron Rivera is not considered black. So he's Hispanic. So 3 blacks, 1 Hispanic, 4 minorities out of 32. Minorities are not given a chance in positions of authority. Still in the NFL. It's like, what the hell is Vic? Now, here's where, can I defend Vic Fangio just a little bit, just a tiny bit? There really isn't much racism in player acquisition for a coach or a GM. They don't really care if you're black or white. The Colin Kaepernick stuff, he was blackballed. No doubt about it, he was blackballed. But he wasn't blackballed because he was black. He was blackballed because he was going to bring distraction. And it wasn't, because I don't think it had anything really to do about the Black Lives Matter thing. I don't think they cared about that. They just cared about the whole, like, Tim Tebow effect that he had. That he was going to be a lightning rod. And they were right. And he really wasn't into being a quarterback. He was really more to be a social activist, which is what is perfect right now with what's going on. Because it's great to use the Kaepernick example now. But I can see where Fangio, to a certain extent, he's looking at it like, hey, man, I don't care about players or players. And that I kind of understand that part.
But it's like he's got blinders on.
I know.
Because he's strictly staying in the locker room. Dude, walk out of the locker room, go down the hall, and see what the hell is going on in your organization.
Right. You know, I know what he's saying, that in a way, like, you know, we have more black quarterbacks than ever. They're not viewed the same way anymore. Like when I was a kid, that black quarterbacks were like, oh, no, they can't be quarterbacks, you know, that kind of crap. And in football, you don't care. In sports in general, you don't care where they come from, what country, what color, what religion. You just need to win, dude. The guy's got to be able to play, and that's it. That's all you care about. So I get where there's an inkling of that. You know what I mean? But come on, bro. There's a ton of racism still left over. I mean,
the situation in Detroit, the fact that he was in Chicago for years and saw it firsthand right there, right across the street, you know?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah. George says, millionaires and billionaires employ a ton of people. Everyone has the opportunity to make their way up to the top in this country. Not saying it's easy, just saying it can be done. Yeah, I agree. Mile High Beauty says, I'm a Broncos fan. I was ashamed to hear my coach say that. Yeah, it was bad. It was irresponsible in a way. because it just kind of makes them tone deaf. Ed Mofo says, Billy, not everyone pays taxes. Amazon, Boeing, etc. do not pay taxes. You really don't have the facts, only talking points. You guys are you're heavy into this talk. Trying to beat the heat, brother. 90 degrees in North Carolina, humidity rising.
Woo. And if you're in North Carolina, if you're anywhere near the mountains and to have the heat in the mountain, man, I dealt with that one year summer, Allentown, Bethlehem. They had one of those Indian summers.
Mm-hmm.
Man, we would literally open up the sliding glass door and run to the pool and just jump because, like, you'd almost cook on the way from the sliding glass door to the pool.
It's crazy. Crazy, man. Crazy. We do want to remind you that Moody's Dental, folks, you need some dentistry done. You want to straighten out your teeth. Maybe you need an implant, Invisaligns, a root canal, a cavity. If you're in pain right now, please call Moody's Dental and tell them that I sent you 305-821-0231. Call Moody's Dental, 305-821-0231. Make sure you tell them that Big O sent you, man. They will take care of you. They are absolutely phenomenal. State-of-the-art equipment, family-owned operation, just absolutely sparkling clean place. Really, when you walk in and when you see the Moody's family, you're just going to have this comfort zone. You're going to say, okay, I'm at the right place. They're going to take care of me. They're really good people. Please call Eric Moody's and family. Tell them that Big O sent you. 305-821-0231 for Moody'sDental.com. That's the other way that you can reach out to them. We are out here at VSS West Pines, 12397 Pembroke Road. Come on out here. Join us, baby. We are having some fun out here for a couple of hours, and they will come out here. They will take care of you, as always, out here at VSS West Pines. Trust me on that. Let's see. What do we have here? Drubo says, VSS West Pines, get you some CBD needs and smoke watches. That's right. The smoke watch is really, really cool. Super Boom Shack says, what is on your shirt? Oh, this is my Classic East shirt. Remember I told you, I forgot what shirt I was wearing, or there was a Journey or something. And I told you the last time I saw him was at the Classic East. And this was at Citi Field. See? Citi Field 2017. And so this is the one that had the Eagles, Journey, Doobie Brothers, Earth, Wind, and Fire, Steely Dan. What does it say there, bro? What are the 6 bands?
You're missing Fleetwood Mac, brother.
Fleetwood Mac.
Dude, what a lineup, man.
I know. Yeah.
You must have been a really happy cat.
Yeah, man. 3 bands each day. It was phenomenal.
Oh, so everybody did a hour and a half to 2 hour set.
Yeah. Not 2 hours, but no, actually the closers did Journey and I think it was Journey that closed one night and the Eagles closed the other night. I think they both did close to 2 hours. Yes. Yeah.
You look like all of those are headliners, man.
Right. Yeah. And Earth, Wind, and Fire is not a headliner anymore. Although Philip Bailey was there. Now,
wow.
Yeah, okay. Philip Bailey was there. No Maurice White, because obviously we lost him.
Yes.
Which that really would have put it. Now, with Maurice White, they become a headliner. You know what I mean? But what was left of Earth, Wind, and Fire, I don't know if I would put him as a headliner.
Yeah, but I hear that they
sound good.
Incredible.
They sound good. They sound good, but I just didn't feel like I was watching the complete Earth, Wind, and Fire when I was watching it. You know, I was happy to see it.
As long as it sounds good, though, man.
You know, yeah.
Earth, Wind, dude, you're talking all-time music, bro.
Yeah. No. Yeah, definitely. No, it was a lot of fun. No doubt.
I don't think I've ever, you hear an Earth, Wind, and Fire jam, you're not moving from that song.
Oh, yeah.
You're staying right there.
Yeah, definitely. No doubt. All right, let's do this. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back on the other side. We're coming to you live from VSS West Pines. Come on out here, man. Say hi. 12397 Pembroke Road. Let's take a really quick break. We'll come back with more right here on the Big O Show.
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with 0 down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021 at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Alrighty, welcome back. We take you here for a little bit more. If you want to get in, it's really simple. You can reach out to us on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, you can reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show, of course. You've got the YouTube chat board there, always active. Although not too active with me today. It's mostly active with you guys because you're going all crazy with your politics.
You're not feeling left out of that.
No, I'm
I
good.
didn't think so.
I don't get crazy with Democrats and Republicans. I let them go crazy amongst themselves. What's it called? You guys can also reach out on the super chat. That might be the better way to get a question in because the other ones, I got to fish. I got to look at the chat board and then try to figure out what's actually a question for me and not a discussion that's going on amongst all of you out there. There's a very famous Jennifer Aniston picture from back in the day where she's completely naked and she's got her knee in front of her. You know that shot? Well, she that nude portrait, they announced on Instagram account that the photographer Mike Seelig is working in a darkroom now on the iconic portrait, which he took in November of '95. The black and white image, which shows Aniston posting nude with her legs crossed, was captured by Seeliger after he was assigned to photograph the cast of Friends, which aired its very first episode the year before. So far, the highest bid on the image is $6,500. So he is putting up 25 different portraits that he took, including the one that Aniston took. And 100% of the sales of the proceeds to these portraits will go to the NAF Clinics, an organization which provides free coronavirus testing and care nationwide to the medically underserved. Thank you again to Mark for allowing me to be a part of this, Aniston put in the post, which has since received more than 1 million likes. There you go. Okay? She is... Halle Berry is like probably my number one like crush of all time. She is like right there, dude. Right there. I always I had these discussions a couple of times, and I think people now, as they've both gotten older, they realize that in that discussion I was right like by miles. And it happened a couple of times because people look at her from here up, she's gorgeous. From here down, she's not impressive at all. Has no body. And I'm talking about Angelina Jolie. And so I would try to explain to guys that yeah, I know she's got a great chest and face and lips and all that stuff. But Aniston was the whole package, dude. Whole package. Like Jolie had no hips, no butt, no legs. You know, she's just like toothpicks, you know. And now you see it more. Now as she's older now, you can tell. But
those eyes and those lips, man.
She has the best lips maybe ever.
Oh.
Maybe Angelina Jolie may have the best lips ever.
No, I don't know. Well, from my past, dealing with all the bipolar, wonderful girlfriend, I don't have to deal with a girl like her ever again. I've been reprieved. Yeah, that craziness, man. No, keep cuckoo in the clock. Sorry.
Anyway, so if you want to, I mean, for me, I just always had that discussion with people about Aniston and Jolie, and it's just one of those deals where, to me, it just was never, ever a competition, and I always had that discussion with guys. It's like, I know she's pretty, but not in Aniston's class. So if you want to bid on the Aniston picture, you got a little cash. Like I said, right now, what did I say? The bid is at only $6,500 right now. You know what I mean? So if you got an extra $7,000 to spare, you might be in the neighborhood for the Jennifer Aniston portrait. It is one hell of a portrait. I'll say that. No doubt about that. I will say it's one heck of a portrait. Now, Troy Ortiz says, Big O, J-Lo or Halle? Halle, bro. Halle for me is my number one crush of all time. For sure. Okay? Love J-Lo. You know, here's the better question. J-Lo 40s, early 50s or J-Lo Fly Girl? Huh? That's the one that I would tell you right there. Because what I would argue is she's hotter now than she was 25 years ago. That's the craziness about J-Lo. Am I wrong? Is J-Lo hotter now than she was 25 years ago? Oh, I think she is. By far. I think she's way more beautiful now, more put together. She is amazing now, dude. I think she's a freak.
Back in our day when we were kids, the big one was Which Girl Is Yours of the Charlie's Angels.
Oh, yeah. I was always a Jacqueline Smith guy.
Yeah, it was mostly that or Farrah.
You're right. It was always those two.
Kate Jackson kind of was like the bastard child.
Yeah. Kate, nobody ever picked Kate. And she was
pretty, I know. Yeah.
Very pretty woman. Nobody. John Rouse says, I'll take Salma Hayek overall. Man, that's hard to argue, that one. She She
From
is
dusk till dawn, man.
oh, man.
You cannot see
That
that
snake
scene and
scene-
not stop.
That snake scene is one of the greatest scenes ever in TV history, man.
Hey, get out of the house. The tornado's coming. You're sitting right wait till Selma's done.
I can't argue with anybody that picks Salma Hayek, bro. That woman is as gorgeous as it gets. Let's see. King Short says, cool beans. Hey, wanted to tell everybody, be careful. I hear some sick Mo God injecting bottled waters with poison. You have to turn the bottle upside down and squeeze to see if the cap has been injection point. Wow. Okay. That's really nice. Big O, give me the Madura J-Lo. She is aging very well. Yeah, she is Maduro perfect.
Bro, when you bust out that idea of this injection thing, it makes the ice cream liquor look like nothing, right?
Right, yeah. Yeah, basically. J-Lo has aged like fine wine, bro. That's what Major Finn says. Yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm with you. Flipper13 says, Cheryl Ladd holds my beer. Cheryl Ladd was beautiful. Now, those of you out there that are dog owners, okay, I own 4 dogs, okay? Our family has 4 beautiful, loving dogs that they are like our kids. We treat them basically like our kids. We got a lot of rain going on, so we have a lot of trouble going on. There are some monsters out there, and they're giant toxic toads. So be careful. Last month, Ohilda Gilbert, a real estate agent on Facebook group of South Florida moms, showed a photo of a fat, warty cane toad next to a pool pump, illustrated her post, and fired up a conversation with over 200 comments about the dreaded amphibians. The yellowish-brown cane toads, also known as bufo, marine, and giant toads, are making an appearance here in South Florida after the recent heavy rains stirred them up from their burrows and gave them plenty of water to breed in. If summer turns out to be wetter than normal, as forecasts are predicting, tadpoles will have a better chance of survival, potentially creating a population boom for the largest toads found in Florida, a big concern for many dog owners. As there is water in there for them to breed, the cane toad will thrive, said William Kerner, an associate professor at the University of Florida who specializes in urban pest management. This will be out above the surface. People are probably seeing more of them now. These scary-looking toads, which, here, if you want to look at it, for those of you on video, that boofa thing is ugly, bro. Telling you, man. That thing is ugly. Anyway, they are generally harmless to humans, but they can be very dangerous for pets. The amphibians, which average between 4 and 6 inches, can grow to 9 inches and have large triangular glands behind the eyes that contain a high load of milky white toxins that can kill dogs, Kern said. If a dog bites or licks the slow-moving frog and gets some of the poison in its mouth, it can suffer convulsions, loss of coordination, and cardiac arrest. During the rainy season, when the toads are breeding, they're generally more active. Dog owners must watch out for signs of poisoning, excessive drooling, red gums, vomiting, disorientation, circling, stumbling, falling, and seizures. Scary stuff, man. I know, because for us, we have a teacup. What's that dog's name now? I always forget the damn breed of dog. It's teacup.
The one that competes with Flashy for
Ziggy.
barking.
Yeah, Ziggy. It's what the hell is the name of that dog? That breed of dog now. Now I'm forgetting. It's teacup something, man. Come on. Somebody help me out there. What are the dogs that are teacups? They're whatever. Anyway, he's got this Napoleon complex, right? And he will attack anything. It doesn't matter the size of it. So the second we let him out to go do his business in the backyard, Yorkie. Thank you, Troy. Yorkie. Thank you, Troy. Appreciate you. It's a Yorkie. And that Yorkie will attack anything, man. Ziggy is fearless. He doesn't realize that he weighs like 3 pounds soaking wet. Like, he is really like all bones and hair. He's a little thing. I showed you guys Ziggy a couple weeks ago on the show. And that dog will attack the toad. So when it rains, we have to kind of like you let him out and you got to like be right next to him because he'll run after a toad. And then we've got to like chase him down and scream at him and say, no! And then he'll stop. At least he's obedient. He will pay attention. That's the good thing about Ziggy. You tell Ziggy not to do it, he won't do it. But at the moment he sees the toad, oh, man, he is charging after. It's already happened to us a couple times. You know what I mean?
Had to deal with the situation at a friend's house. Their dog got a hold of one of the toads in the backyard, okay?
Yeah.
I had to run to the store because they didn't have any milk. So I haul ass, and I'm like going 90 miles an hour through springs.
The dog,
imagine.
The dog lived?
Through springs. Yes, because what it is, she knew what to do. You get the hose, and you just literally like stream as hard and get it going, and then milk. And what we did is they did the hose thing while I ran to get the milk, came back, we dragged because the dog is freaking out.
Right.
And it just, like you're literally dragging them across the floor,
sure.
get them in the tub, and just pour a gallon of milk down, almost like with the tear gas, the milk for the face. Same idea. Same idea. And yes, the dog did live. But I don't know how long you got, but like if you see it immediately, that's the thing to do. Get water, just drown them with water, get it to get, and use milk.
Yeah. Scary stuff, man. So if
The
you
dog
got
lived.
dogs.
Dog lived, bro.
Well, it's amazing that it lived enough time for you to go to the store and back.
You know,
It's
Springs.
amazing.
I was doing 90 miles an hour
Yeah,
down
crazy.
Ludlam, the back, to go to the convenience. Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy. So if you do have dogs, folks, be careful because there's some nasty-ass toads out there that are could be causing some real issues for a lot of folks out there. The other thing is locally, Costco. If you received a text message about your Costco receipt and offering reimbursement or threatening to cancel your membership, do not click the link. It's a scam. Currently, a text scam is circulating that threatens to cancel the membership unless the user clicks on the link for a survey. Costco said on its website, please note that these are fraudulent texts attempting to obtain personal information. Do not click on the link as they are in no way affiliated with Costco. Another version of the message people are receiving says that they are trying to get in touch with you about your Costco receipt, and they ask you to click the link to claim your overcharge and reimbursement. Also a scam. So just in case, if you're getting any of that, you're getting a Costco message, make sure you dump it and you get the hell out because that is obviously something that they're going after your stuff, man. Big O, I used to lick them in high school and trip. Talk about toads? Wow.
That's a Family Guy episode, man.
That's what Pablo. Oh yeah, that's what it is. I don't watch Family Guy, so I run into Family Guy. I'll watch it for a couple minutes, but I don't think I've really ever watched an episode from beginning to end of Family Guy.
So we figured out what's wrong with you. Okay.
Yeah,
we figured it out.
I've never ever watched a complete episode of Family Guy. 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Yeah, I've watched
But I've
it.
waited 39 years to
out.
figure out what the hell's up with you, and I just got never watched a full episode of Family Guy.
So there's an episode of Family Guy where they're licking toads and getting high?
It's a thing at the school, yeah. And actually, Peter goes undercover and becomes like a student. Yeah. And Meg, the whole involvement with the high school kids and licking toads.
Okay.
All
right.
Yeah, they have a little Lucy in the Sky with Diamond type segment.
Okay. All right. Interesting. Troy Ortiz says Family Guy is hilarious. Everybody loves Family Guy. It's easy. Everybody tells me the same thing, man.
Here, record it, buddy.
I've just never been the guy that watches cartoons as an adult. I can't. I just don't find myself watching a cartoon. South Park is the one that I have watched several times over the years, back in the day. But it's been years already that I don't watch South Park. I mean, years. God, 20 years. It's been a long time. And the Family Guy, Simpsons, I've run into them. What is it? American Father? American
Dad.
American
That's
Dad.
That's the same group as Family Guy.
Right. I've run into that one, too.
Do you remember Duckman?
By the way, that American Guy one seems funny, too.
No, it is. I got into it, yeah.
I don't watch it, but again, whether like Family Guy, American Dad.
Yes, American Dad.
And Simpsons. I've run into all of those, and I've laughed. I will admit, they're all funny. But
do you remember Duckman?
I remember Duckman. I didn't watch it.
You didn't watch it, man?
Nope.
Duckman was
I
grandma
didn't watch it.
always farting.
I did not watch it.
It was, what's his name? George Costanza.
Okay.
Was one of the main voices.
I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just a thing that I can't lock myself into watching a cartoon every week anymore. I don't know what it is.
You know what I would suggest?
I don't know.
Record an episode. You could blow through the commercials. It's 22 minutes, man. Check it out.
No, I know. I get it. They're all good. Like I told you, it's not like I haven't channel surfed, stopped, and laughed at something that American Dad did or Family Guy or any of those.
Foghorn Leghorn stumbles into KFC. Oh, my God. 7 herbs and spices drive me crazy. Come in, and they literally chop his head off right there at the table.
I'll say, have you seen my boy?
That's it.
Have you seen my boy? American Dad is the greatest, hands down. That's what EM88 says. Flipside Fishing says, the Toad's secret DMT, the best hallucinogen out there, LOL. I believe that's probably how they got here. All right? Big O, Family Guy offends everyone. You would love it. Well, I mean, they all offend everybody.
No, but no.
Come on, Big O. Beavis and Butthead, the best. See, I never got into Beavis and Butthead, but I did watch it a couple of times. Like I'd run into it. But again, I did not watch that one either religiously.
You know that's where Hank Hill came out of, spawned out of Beavis and Butthead.
I had no idea.
Yep, Hank Hill.
Okay, had no idea. And again, I'm not a. It's just, and it's pretty strict with me, that MO. I just never really got onto these adult-like cartoons. And it's not to pick on anybody or anything like that. It's just me. I'm just a weirdo, I guess. You know? I mean, I can't pick on anybody because you guys are all the normal ones. I'm the abnormal one. I don't think there's a lot of people that are watching right now or downloading that probably stand the same way I do, that like they really never have watched any of these cartoons religiously. All these adult-like cartoons that have come out the last 25 years, I've never watched any of them religiously. I've watched them. I've run into them for a couple minutes, but not really watch them religiously. Just South Park I did very little early on.
I mean,
very little.
Family Guy, they have Mother Teresa ODing, Stewie driving a car, and they kick her out of the car on the sidewalk at the hospital. Kick the bitch out. Get her out. Mother Teresa, of all people, imagine. Okay. Nobody is, like everybody gets slammed on Family Guy.
Yeah. But that's kind of been all these cartoons nowadays. All these cartoons that have come out the last 25 years, they're ruthless. They go where regular television doesn't go anymore. You know, where Archie Bunker and Red Fox and all these guys left off, that's where we get to exercise all that craziness. We don't do it on regular television anymore. We have to do it through cartoons.
Well, the start was, if you remember, it was The Simpsons and
at least on regular television, you would have to go to pay television.
Married with Children.
See really crazy
Simpsons
stuff.
And Married with Children. I can remember they were on Sunday night. They were the start of wow, these guys are going in a place we have not gone yet.
Yeah. You got to be on CID to watch Beavis and Butthead. What's CID? I'm sorry, Vernon. You got me there, bro. You're too hip for me. I don't know. I have no
Sid,
idea.
I'm going to guess acid.
Oh, acid.
Right?
Okay, Sid, acid. Okay. All right. Okay. Tom and Jerry or Roadrunner versus Coyote could do the world some good right now.
The best Roadrunner Coyote is the one where the little kids and the Coyote stops and breaks down all the body part. Like, why are you chasing the Roadrunner? And he's like, succotash, this, his feathers are like pudding and blah, blah, blah. And, and every part of his body. You remember that one? The two little kids?
Yeah.
That's probably the best Roadrunner.
Pat in Asheville says Futurama is genius. That one I've seen, but I've never actually watched it. I know what Futurama is, but I've never watched that one. I don't even remember running into it and sitting and watching it for a couple of minutes. The other ones we've talked about, yes. Futurama, no. Don't know too much about that one. Big O, did you ever watch the Red Green Show, or are you talking about Tom Green Show? Red Green or Tom Green? Tom Green I did watch. Not Red Green. Polo says Red Fox is a legend. The Midnight Express is awesome. Death Note is anime on Netflix is amazing. It's available in English. It will make you think. It's a true thriller. Okay? Big O, watch Big Mouth on Netflix. All right? Big Mouth on Netflix. Ray says, Johnny Quest, classic 60s version, of course. Very well done cartoon, Big O. I love Johnny Quest. And Johnny Quest also has some of the coolest theme music ever, too. That's the other thing I liked about Johnny Quest. Not only was it a cool cartoon, I enjoyed it back in the day, but the opening of it was actually really cool. Want to watch something that will blow your mind? Check it out with Dr. Steve Brule. What the hell is that, Pat in Asheville? Check it out with Dr. Steve Brule. Okay? I will write it down. Okay? There you go. Tom Green pizza delivery skit was hilarious. Golden Girls and Too Close for Comfort. There we go. Now we're talking. When you go that way, Golden Girls, oh man. Now you're talking real great television at that point. Although you have to admit, if you watch the Golden Girls, there was a part of you that enjoyed a little bit of it, right? Even though it's not the kind of show that maybe would fit you normally, I think anybody and everybody that watched Golden Girls, they liked something about it in a twisted way. Big O, more of a PBS kid, Nickelodeon's Disney Channel type. There you go. I'll go with Zoom and Via Alegre. Okay, there you go. That'll be for me. Anybody know Zoom out there? That's like deep kid shows there. Okay, Zoom. And if you know Via Alegre, wow. Now that really would be, nobody young knows what the hell I'm talking about there. You got to be old, and I guess because I think Zoom was probably one of the cooler kid shows back in the day.
Oh, the electric company.
Well, no, but that's the one everybody knew. I mean, Zoom was
Come
one
on
that
and
was
Zoom.
Yeah, Zoom was not.
Come on, give it a try.
Yeah,
We're gonna show you to fly.
Exactly, that's the one. And Via Alegre was even more like deep in there, bro.
My singing, we just lost 20 people.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Exactly. Big O, remember the Little Rascals. There you go. Now we're talking. Call of Duty 1's got Night Court better than Golden Girls. Well, I mean, you do have, What was
Dan Fielding.
No, but what's her name? The blonde that she was kind of hot in Night Court. What was her name? She's kind of cute. Damn.
It wasn't Marky Post.
Yeah.
Was it?
Wasn't it Marky Post?
Was it Marky Post?
I think it was. Yeah, I think that's her name. I'm pretty sure you're right. I think it was Marky Post.
I always liked Dan Fielding. That guy was such a scumbag.
Dougie Fresh goes, Villalegre was only Spanish-speaking show on my entire Mexican family would watch it. Well, no, it was bilingual. Villalegre was bilingual. Villalegre was the first show ever for kids that had like a heavy minority influence. Yes, but it was bilingual. It had both languages. And if I remember correctly, didn't even like, no, it wasn't her. No, it was another lady. I think Rita was on Electric Company, not there. But they were bilingual for sure via lady. Na 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 via lady. Yes.
I was right.
What? Yeah,
I was
Marky
right.
Post.
Marky Post, man.
Yeah, I was pretty sure you were right on that. Because I didn't remember her name, but once you mentioned it, it was like, yep, that's it.
I don't know if you've ever seen it, but Harry Anderson?
Yeah.
Hell of a magician, man.
Yes.
That one where he took the needle. You remember the HBO special?
Didn't he just pass away?
No, he did.
Didn't Harry Anderson just pass away?
Oh.
Look it up. I want to say Harry Anderson just passed away. If it wasn't Harry, was it Bull that passed away? Or no, I think it was Harry also. Harry passed away? Is Harry still alive? So then it was Bull. Then I got it confused with Bull. Okay.
No, you're right.
No, I was right?
Man, 2 years ago.
Okay, there you
Wow.
go. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. He unfortunately passed away.
You know what? Asheville, North Carolina.
Oh, okay. There you go. Pat in Asheville says Harry Anderson died in Asheville a few years ago. He just chimed in with it. John says, when you going back to Hialeah Casino, any word? I think it's the 15th. I think we go to Hialeah Casino the 15th. I think that's the word of this month. We will be back in the mix at Hialeah Park.
I am
on the
so
15th.
looking forward to having lunch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Their food, folks.
Yes. Yeah.
Even if you're not a gambler, go check out the ambiance because it's almost like walking back in time.
Well, no, it's historic, that place.
It is.
Fucking place.
And their food is amazing. Everybody there
freaking
is super
historic.
wonderful people.
So historic. It's when you talk about history and you talk about a slice of something from back in the day and you get to see the architecture and they're so awesome. So awesome. Johnny Quest music was awesome. The artist was Hoyt Curtin. You can listen to the soundtrack on YouTube as well. Gin Now Juice. Gin Now Juice that's your first post, man. How about that? First post, and he comes up with a nugget there. Casinos in Vegas open tonight at midnight. That's what Flipper 13 says. Draco says Second City TV, Benny Hill, Python, late 70s. There you go. You guys have gone now back to the adult stuff from the kid stuff.
Benny Hill, man. Oh, the little old dude they smack around the back of his head.
Dan Fielding from Night Court was my hero, is what Call of Duty 1 says. Too funny. You guys are a trip. All right, it's 2 o'clock. Let's take a quick break. We're coming to you live from VSS West Pines. If you want to come on by and say hi, we'll be here for a little bit more. 12397 Pembroke Road. Come on out here. Jose, Tommy. I'm telling you, man, they're all here ready to help you out. Jason, all the boys are out here ready to help you out. As always, every single day, go to the website, vsswestpines.com. We do want to tell you about Craig Zinn's Acura Pembroke Pines. We'll be out there on Friday. And, folks, they got some great deals going on right now, like the ILX is $239 a month, only $29.99 do-it signing plus tax tag and registration For you first responders, $750 off. Military veterans, $750 off. If you're a graduate, $500 off. So many different ways to save. They're also going to give you 90 days, no payments, whether you buy or lease during this tough transition. So get on down to 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 in Pines. Tell them that Big O sent you. They will take care of you at Craig's Inns, Acura of Pembroke Pines.
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with 0 down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021 at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million, whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
We back. And what was the number I gave you for the virus at 115? It was
over 500.
500 and 508. Here it is, 508. I haven't even refreshed it yet. Okay, let's refresh. Okay. Wait a minute. It has not updated at all. We are stuck at 508. Right now, 508. Still 508. No change, folks. Good news. Unless in 5 minutes, then they update and it jumps up for another ugly number.
Yeah,
anyway,
it's so disgusting they don't even want to post it, right?
I'll keep you updated on it right now, and see if it changed. See, it's still 470 in Mexico. They have not changed that, and 359 in the UK. So it has not gotten updated yet. So I'll give it to you once they do. NorCal says, I hope the virus lessens. We all need that. I just finished a car. I wiped down all the things my customer might touch. I think we should go out but pretend everyone's sick, including yourself. Clean up. Yes, NorCal, that's exactly what they're trying to tell you to do. That's exactly what they want you to do. They're not telling you, hey, go back to your normal life and be what you normally used to do and act like you normally used to act. No, man. No. Wear your mask, clean your hands as many times as you can throughout the day, all that kind of stuff. Yes. Yes, NorCal, you have the right idea, actually. That is the right attitude to actually have about all of this. No doubt about it, man. The NFL camps, by the way, will all start at their team facilities. So you will not be able, like the Cowboys go to California for training camp. That's not going to happen. What is it, Oxnard or whatever it is that they go to? That's done. Everybody's got to be at their own facility. They don't want them out of town because of COVID and everything else going on. So they want everybody controlled in their own environment that they've kind of been in throughout. But again, you're not going to be able to control the environment for all of these players, man. You know what I mean? It's really screwed up at this point when you, in order to, that's why I brought up the Japanese baseball players, because that shows you they got two of their players and they haven't started yet. When you start putting, if you're able to keep everybody in a bubble and nobody can leave, you might be able to control everything there. But if anybody has access to the outside world and they're coming in and out, that's where you're going to open it up to, problems. And players, they're young. You were young. I was young. Think about you young with a lot of money. That would be a problem. That would be very tempting that you have all these women throwing themselves at you, and easily any of them could have COVID. So it's not about picking up just an STD. You might be picking up, a COVID deal, too, at the same time. And not that you're going to be spreading the STD. Nobody cares about that, but you will be spreading the COVID. This is going to be a hell of a challenge, man. That's why I brought up the Korean baseball players, and look what happened to the Oklahoma State player. He went to a rally, a protest, and he ends up getting sick. So the NFL is doing a really smart thing. The sad part for the NFL is that they can't have a bubble. They can't have a bubble city. It's too many teams. There's so much money involved in the NFL that they've got to try to do it in their own cities, and they've got to do it without fans and in an environment that they've got to try to control as much as possible. But if all these players are going to go home, it's going to be one hell of a challenge for the NFL to keep everybody clean. It just is, man. What are you going to do? 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. That's 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. You can reach out to us also on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Follow us there as always, because that's a 24-hour talk show on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. Big O, I expect we won't be wearing masks and gloves by the earliest next year. It all depends. It all depends. If we're able to get the vaccine, then we can put away the masks and gloves. Although I will say this, I'm masking every time I go to the airport. Screw that, bro. If I get on a plane, I'm going to have a mask no matter what, post-COVID. It's the best way, man. With everybody coughing and wheezing and all that crap, I'd rather just kind of try to avoid as many germs as possible when I walk into a plane. So once we do have the vaccine, okay, I won't wear it when I go to Walmart. But I got to tell you something. The mask is going to be a part of my world especially when I travel. Okay, planes are disgusting as it is. I don't know about you, but I kind of get grossed out on a plane. So I never liked traveling on a plane as it is. The mask just kind of it empowers me a little bit more and gives me more confidence that that's the way I should go. Okay? Let's see. What do we have here? What are we talking about here? I guess we got a stop pushing silliness, and stick to what you know. Oh, okay. All right. I like people that like telling me what to do. Those are the people that really hang around here a long time. The people that try to control my opinion. Yeah, that really helps you out with me. Okay. So I guess we all know where that one ended up on the chat board. That one we can figure. Kind of like the Kings announcer. Did you guys see the Kings announcer? He got exposed badly, dude. That one was there's a part of me that was kind of laughing at him. Not the whole situation. The situation is not funny at all. But it is funny because Kings play-by-play announcer Grant Napier has been placed on administrative leave, according to the Sacramento Bee's Jason Anderson. The radio station is reportedly investigating Napier's response on Twitter of former Kings center DeMarcus Cousins, who asked Napier for his thoughts on Black Lives Matter movement amid the protests taking place across the country following the death of George Floyd. Napier told Cousins that all lives matter. Sharing the slogan often used to deflect from the issue BLM is seeking to address, including racial injustice and police brutality. Grant Napier says, "Hey, how are you? Thought you forgot about me. Haven't heard from you in years. All lives matter. Every single one." Okay? Cousins, by the way, was not surprised by the tweet from former Kings player Chris Webber, and Matt Barnes jumped in to voice their opinions of Napier as well. Wouldn't expect nothing less from a closet racist, Barnes said. And then DeMarcus Cousins, LOL, as expected. Chris Webber, DeMarcus, we know and have known who Grant is. The team knows as well. I've told them many times. They've seen it. They know who he is. So apparently, the players already knew about this guy being a racist. Now, the problem when you do this and you say all lives matter, which they do, by the way, it makes you sound like you're dismissive of that cause because you're trying to say all lives matter, not just yours. And see, you don't do that to somebody in the LGBT community if they come to you and they say, hey, listen, they're fighting for their cause. You're not going to say all sexes matter. Okay? And you don't have to say only straight people matter. That's not what I'm talking about. But the idea is if you're fighting for women, okay, you're at that moment you don't tell the woman, well, kids' rights are also important, not just women's rights. You know what I mean? And if women are being sexually assaulted, you're also not going to say, well, sexual assault also happens in men. What we all have to do is be respectful of all the battles that we're fighting. It's what we talked about last week on the show. It's We got to stand hand in hand next to the black community right now on this. Okay? But when the LGBT community is also fighting, all of us have to move over and help them too. And when women are fighting for their equal rights or for sexual harassment in the workplace, for several things that women unfortunately have to fight for, then we've got to stand by them. But what we don't do is demean anybody's cause or fight by lessening it, by setting an example for something else. The world is screwed up in many different ways. Okay? Our Jewish friends deal with anti-Semitism every single day. We got to fight with them. You know? We got to stand next to our Jewish community, make sure that doesn't happen. So, of course, every cause is important. Fighting for kids, fighting for sexual abuse, fighting for physical abuse, fighting for emotional abuse. All of these things are important. But what you never do is try to talk down somebody's plight and somebody's fight. And that's what Grant Napier did. You know, it's one of those things like, okay, well, your cause is not as important as the human race, which we all know, but everybody's part of it. But at the moment, we're trying to fight this one right now. Okay? We're trying to fight all kinds of things on all kinds of fronts. But right now, front and center, we see what's going on. It's in our faces. Let's be supportive. Let's not be combative. Let's not try to create a race between plights, because we all know that there's all kinds, and they're all important. Of course. That's common sense. But this is what happens now, and he will end up fired. There is no doubt in my mind that he will end up fired. Okay? I don't know if anything's happened yet, but at the moment, suspension is one thing, and when you got players already commenting that they kind of knew who this guy was, a while back, this is not going to bode well for you. If you think you're going to be able to call, Kings games down the line in the future. And speaking of those social injustices, I don't know if you guys saw this, but the state of Minnesota launched a sweeping civil rights investigation into the Minneapolis Police Department on Tuesday, a week after officers allegedly killed, obviously, George Floyd. It says allegedly in the article. That's why I said that. But we all know they did it. The probe stemming from the death of Floyd will be designed to root out systematic racism that is generations deep, Governor Tim Walz told reporters. He said our Minnesota Department of Human Rights today filed a civil rights charge against MPD. Will investigate the department's policies, procedures, and practices over the past 10 years to determine if they've engaged in systematic discriminatory practices. The Minnesota Department of Human Rights is filing a commissioner's charge of discrimination to launch a civil rights investigation into the Minnesota Police Department. And you're going to see a lot of these investigations take place all across the country. It says, we welcome and fully support the Minnesota Department of Human Rights' robust investigation of the Minnesota Police Department. We urge the state to use its full weight to hold the Minneapolis Police Department accountable for any and all abuse of power and harms to our community and stand ready to aid in this process as full partners. The city lawmakers said the efforts to oversee the police department have been historically constrained by the city charter and state law, so they welcome new tools to pursue transformational structural changes. So we have something new. He has resigned now. The Kings have announced Tuesday a television play-by-play announcer Grant Napier has resigned from the team following the All Lives Matter comment he made on Twitter to Jason Jones of The Athletic. There we go. In other words, Grant, we're going to fire you. Why don't you resign now instead of us firing you? That's all that happened.
I think it also said he has a radio show associated with the station, and that's done too. So,
well, yeah.
Bye. See ya.
Yeah, okay. Well, we hid the racist as long as we could. We can't hide the racist anymore. The players knew he was racist. It's a different world now, right? Because how many people do you know that were racist over the years, right? And this is a different world. But 30 years ago, 40 years ago, you knew somebody was racist, and it was like, well, you know how they are. You know this guy. You know this woman. They're racist. They are what they are. And you just kind of went by your merry way. Well, now if you're racist and you hold a position that you could lose, you're going to lose it. That's what's going to end up happening.
Yeah, back in the day, they'd get a temporary leave of absence, and,
and you're done. Let's see. Omar says, Minneapolis police officers at the scene, Tao Thao, Jay Alexander, Kuhn, and Thomas Lane will be charged with aiding and abetting second-degree murder. Chauvin upgraded to second-degree murder. Is that? Wow. Troy Ortiz asking me about the L.A. police chief. Yeah, we talked about it yesterday. We played his stupid comments. Yes. Let me look it up here to see if that's if the other three officers to face charges. Here we go, folks. Washington Examiner is saying, here we go, all the police officers who were present during Floyd's death will face charges. Former Minneapolis police officers Thomas Lane, Kuhn, Thao, all of whom were fired after Floyd's death in the police custody, are expected to be charges against Derek Chauvin to second degree in George Floyd's murder, and also charging the other three officers. This is another important step for justice, said Minnesota Senator Amy Klobuchar. The Attorney General Keith Ellison is increasing charges against Derek Chauvin to second degree in George Floyd's murder, also charging the three other officers. Last week, Floyd, 46, a black man, was accused of using a fake $20 bill to pay for cigarettes at a deli. The police were called, and in their efforts to apprehend him, we all know this. Being silent interviewing. Okay, now it's all right, everything else. There we go. All right, so good. They're going to charge the other three. I mean, this was coming, right? Now, folks, we must temper our happiness, our satisfaction, our enthusiasm, our emotions for progress, whatever. They need to be convicted. Okay? All right? So there's nothing to be happy about whatsoever. This is a tiny little step forward. Okay? It's like a tippy-toe step. When you actually convict them, then you go from tippy-toe step to that long-ass step. And now we can say progress. You know what I'm saying? Because think about it. If we just get the charges and they get acquitted, then what did we do? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm tired of watching all of these cops get away with murder and then there's no charge. Okay? You know, there's a guy named McDuffie from back in the day. And I still remember the McDuffie trial, and they got off. and they beat them with lights, with flashlights. Okay? So I still need to see a lot more before I'm satisfied that progress is starting to be made, because a conviction means progress is starting to be made. Let's get that straight. Okay?
This is just a lean in the right direction.
Yeah.
But
Nothing
is moved.
Nothing at all should I be getting any kind of excited about or saying that we're making progress. Because remember, this is the way I got to look at this. Oh, let's get him charged so we can calm everybody down. And then as it drags on and people, their emotions wane with time and they don't put in the same effort, and 4 months from now, they're not going to be picketing, they're not going to be protesting, they're not going to be caring. 7 months from now, they're going to practically forget about it. A year from now, it's all gone. And a year and a half from now is when this thing drags out and they say, no contest, hung jury, not guilty. And then we're like sitting there going, well, after all of this, they basically got away with murdering the guy. Okay? So I'd love to feel good about the extra charges. It still doesn't convince me that you want to make a change, because until you start convicting police officers for crimes that they are committing, that's the only way the other officers stop. That's the only way a racist says, cop is not a good job for me. I'm going to get exposed. I'm going to go to jail. Remember what I told you yesterday. Remember the story I told you yesterday, that we've all lived it. And that's one of the many reasons why the system is broken down. So I need to see convictions before I really get not excited, because this is not something to be excited about, but at least feeling good that progress is being made. People are realizing that other people are dying for no reason at all, and that we actually care about people. It would be nice. Big O, we as a society now need to accept players in different sports leagues if they want to take a knee during a national anthem. I had no problem with that. I just wanted to do more than just a knee. You know what I mean? I had no problem with the protest from the get-go. Third year of knees, I was like, yeah, you got to start doing something new. You know what I mean? But I never had a problem with the protests. That's the people that are all butthurt about the flag. And let me tell you, the NFL players themselves are going to have problems with their own people. Did you guys hear what Drew Brees said? Do we have Drew Brees' comments? Let's play Drew Brees here a second. Drew Brees was asked about the kneeling, because it's going to happen again, right? And that this is, it's going to be an issue. People are going to kneel, right? So Drew Brees was asked about the kneeling, and do we have that soundbite here? All right. I will get that soundbite for you here in a second. Here for the Drew Brees soundbite, and play it for you. Anyway, so we'll get that for you now in a second, and I'll let you hear Drew Brees. But he's not a fan of the kneeling. He still thinks it's disrespecting the flag, and it's not what it's about. So. Is Drew Brees happy with the guy picking his nose in the stands during the national anthem? How about the guy eating his donut or his hot dog or his hamburger or his whatever he's eating during the national anthem? How about the guy taking a leak during the national anthem? How about the guy or the woman taking pictures in the stadium? How about the people talking to each other all throughout the stadium?
I'm being told the media cannot be played.
Refresh it, bro. Refresh it. Should have been downloaded before anyways. It didn't matter. There you go. Play it. All right, let's see if we can play it here for you. Drew Brees talking about it and talking about playing the national anthem during a game. Here we go. You got it? Ready to go? Go ahead.
Everyone is looking back now at Kaepernick's protests from a few years ago, and obviously they were always about police brutality, and now it's coming back to the fore, and a lot of people expect that we will see players kneeling again if and when the NFL season starts. I'm curious how you think the NFL will and should respond to that, and of course, you're such a leader in the league. What is your responsibility as a leader in times like this for the rest of your teammates and players in the league?
Well, I will never agree with anybody disrespecting the flag of the United States of America or our country. Let me just tell you what I see or what I feel when the national anthem is played and when I look at the flag of the United States. I envision my two grandfathers who fought for this country during World War II, one in the Army and one in the Marine Corps, both risking their lives to protect our country and to try to make our country and this world a better place. So every time I stand with my hand over my heart, looking at that flag and singing the national anthem, that's what I think about. And in many cases, it brings me to tears, thinking about all that has been sacrificed, not just those in the military, but for that matter, those throughout the civil rights movements of the 60s, and everyone and all that has been endured by so many people up until this point. And is everything right with our country right now? No, it's not. We still have a long way to go. But I think what you do by standing there and showing respect to the flag with your hand over your heart is it shows unity. It shows that we are all in this together. We can all do better, and that we are all part of the solution.
Well, the part that Drew Brees continues to forget is that his family members fought so people can protest openly at any time, anywhere. That's what an American is all about. There's nothing more American than peaceful protests. That's kind of what it's all about, dude. So that's where he's, my dad served too. Lots of people have served and are serving, and they're serving to fight for your rights. That's your right. That's the part Drew Brees keeps forgetting. He's supposed to actually say, those guys are protesting, and I'm glad they're protesting because my family members fought for that right to happen. What we don't want is people looting and, damaging stuff and injuring people and all that. That's not protesting. Those are criminals. But all of those people that are protesting, they're fighting for something. They're trying to save lives. Understand that. The idea is to put a knee on the ground so you don't put it on somebody's throat. You know what I mean? That's kind of what you're fighting for. We're fighting so people can, I think we all want to see people just kneeling and fighting for rights. I don't think we want to see cops with their knees in people's necks. They just showed yesterday, I just saw, it's like footage from like a month ago or something, like a Sacramento cop or something like that, and he had his knee on the suspect's neck. And they're investigating it now because the video came up and they're like, oh, well, this is not a tactic we teach. Really? Oh, shocker. So that's where, and again, the ignorance will continue because that's what it is. And Drew Brees is showing ignorance by that. Nobody's disrespecting the flag. Nobody's disrespecting the military. Okay? The idea is to bring attention to a cause. and what you're trying to do is save lives. So
Make America better, man.
Yeah, I just kneeling is doing nothing, and all you're doing, if you're going to display the same kind of ignorance, we're not going to get anywhere. That's the bad part. So, what can I tell you? Troy Ortiz says, lost a lot of respect for Brees. You know, what are you going to do, man?
You know what, man? It's almost like they just don't get it. You know,
No,
they don't get it.
Clearly,
They're clueless.
Drew Brees does. His family served, and he still doesn't get it. All right, he still doesn't get it. That's what they serve for, so you can protest in front of the White House during a national anthem, wherever you can protest and you can bring attention to your cause. You do it. And again, I will tell Drew Brees and I'll tell everybody else out there, protesting is not done at a convenient time. It never has been done at a convenient time. That's not what protesting is about. They don't want they don't want to protest at a convenient time. That's not what it's not there for you to accommodate. It's supposed to be uncomfortable. That's how it sends a message. Because it gets your attention. Anyway, what are you going to do?
It's meant to enact action.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a stir, to make a change.
Ducky Fresh goes, oh, I asked earlier, Ginger, Marianne, or Mrs. Howell?
You know what? That is prior. That precedes the
nobody's
Charlie's Angels.
No, but nobody's ever put
Don't
Mrs.
miss
Howell
out.
in the whole conversation.
That is good.
I've always been a Marianne guy, bro. I'm a Marianne guy all the way. Just like in Three's Company, I was a
Joyce DeWitt
fan. Yep. And if you look at Three's Company, okay, let me even give you an even better nugget about this. I want you to look at Joyce DeWitt when Three's Company started and then when Three's Company ended. Look at Joyce DeWitt in the last 2 years of that series, okay? And how she
went from wearing suspenders and stuff like that to wearing dresses.
She looked finer, bro. I'm just telling you. She got better in that show towards the end. Okay? Seriously. It's impressive. Joyce DeWitt looked like really fine by the end of that whole deal. So I know that everybody was obviously with the blonde. Everybody was always a Suzanne Summers person. I get it. But I was more of the...
I was especially when
Joyce
she had the
DeWitt.
rainbow in between her breast and right on or whatever was the...
Who?
Suzanne Summers, her
I don't
Playboy.
remember. The Playboy, yes,
with the rainbow in between.
Yes.
And
yes.
right on or get on or whatever it said.
Yes. By the way, Julius305 chiming in on the super chat one more time. He left the chat board, was just watching, and then he came back in to give us a little super chat.
I know that, dude. Where'd you get this?
Super chats.
Oh, gnarly. Awesome. Totally awesome.
Julius says, Ginger, damn it. He's a ginger guy. All right. I mean, Ginger is the sultry,
high maintenance man,
sexy one.
High maintenance, brother.
Yeah, definitely. Rosendo says, I disapprove of what you say, but I will defend to the death your right to say it. Voltaire. Yeah.
You know what? That's one of my favorite scenes in The American President with Michael Douglas, and he talks about the thing we need to teach in history class in school is you have to fight for the person that would say the thing that you hate the most, the right to say it.
Right, yes, exactly.
It's
or even when they say it.
Yes.
You know? So, yeah. Troy goes, love redheads. Yeah, I'm with you. I think redheads are smoking. There's no doubt. It's there's a look that comes. There's an exotic thing that comes tied to redheads. You're right.
I can't help it. It's
But
in my
I
blood.
just-
Being
but I-
Irish, I
yeah.
can't help it, man.
But I still have to go with Marianne. Still have to go with Marianne over Ginger.
Man, my head will do like conniption, exorcist type total flip, a redhead go.
Although it's funny because I look at Ginger as a redhead, right? But I'd rather go with the redhead from Mad Men. Okay? And she's a thicker girl, too, on top of all of that. I forgot her name. I don't know. You guys know who I'm talking about? So, yeah, redheads are, but it all depends. I just found Marianne so much more sexier. I was always into Marianne. Female redheads, yes. Male redheads, not so much. Flipper13 says. Well, hey, man, it's not your thing. Some other guys, maybe. It might be their thing. 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. That's 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. Christina Hendricks, that's it. That's her name. That's her name. Yeah, I like that redhead over the ginger redhead. I don't know why, but to me, that one was a little bit more sexier than
How about
the ginger one. I don't know. I can't explain it.
How about Anne Margaret redhead?
Oh, yeah, but no, that's a... Now, that is like, that's a whole different level of woman, period. Okay, Anne Margaret now, when we're talking Christina Hendricks, she's smoking. She's pretty in her own way, but when you go Anne Margaret, you're going at a whole
We're
level.
hitting stratosphere level.
Yeah. You're talking about like, some of God's finest work. When we talk Halle Berry and that, it's just like some of God's finest work was done that day.
That's like a Family Guy scene because God's up in the clouds and he goes, God, he knows what you like.
Yeah, see, so you anybody that tells you that God is like God-like every single day, he can't be. He can't be, because then he would have created a Halle Berry every day, and he didn't. You know what I'm saying? Some Mama Junes came out.
So he takes some time off. Is that what you're saying?
The good Lord wasn't bringing.
He
the
doesn't wait
fastball
till
every day.
Sunday. He doesn't wait till Sunday. He takes some time off in between.
He didn't bring the fastball every day. I mean, that's why there's David Beckham and then there's me. He didn't bring the fastball every day. If he brought the fastball every day, he would have been producing David Beckham's and Halle Berry's every day. The fact that he produced a Mama June and myself, then, you could tell he wasn't on his best work. That's all. Big O, I changed my username from AKY2VGAA. Love you, bro. Got to go to work. Now we'll listen to you on the podcast. Now he changed it from Y2VGAA to Vinny. All right. Thank you, Vinny.
Are you happy now? He made it nice and easy for you.
Yeah, bro, because then I got to go, Y2VGAA says, now you just put Vinny. I love it.
Vinny, switch back to the other. Make it hard on him.
That's it. We don't have a Vinny in the house right now, so he owns Vinny now. He gets to own Vinny. That's it. He's the Super V in the house now. Even better, Vinny, you could change it to Super V. Just in case another Vinny pops in down the line, you're Super V. You know what I'm saying? So I will, when I see Vinny, I will refer to you as Super V. Okay? Super Boom Shack then chimes in with the Jessica Rabbit. Super Boom Shack, you got to walk me through this. Okay? I never understand you guys that have this love affair with Jessica Rabbit. She's a cartoon. At least if it was real, Okay, if it's Marianne, at least it's a physically real thing. You know what I mean? Jessica Rabbit, like, there's no way to have sex with her.
Is it Kathleen Turner's voice behind Jessica Rabbit?
I have no idea.
No, it is.
Oh,
I'm saying, is that one of the components of, like,
no,
smoking?
Nobody's ever talking about the voice.
Hey, look, like she says, it's not her fault. She's just drawn that
But
way.
over the years,
That's what she says.
Over the years, doing a testosterone-filled show like sports is, the woman talk always comes up about the hot woman, and then the Charlie's Angels, and then the Gilligan Island, and all, and then we start with who's your favorite in what's that? Facts of Life, and all these conversations have come up over the years. But then the dude always chimes in with Jessica Rabbit, and I've always been intrigued by that because there's nothing there tangible to touch. You know what I'm saying? At least when you imagine Halle Berry, there is a real Halle Berry. Not that you're really ever going to touch her, go out with her, anything. You know what I'm saying? But we can dream, right? The Jessica Rabbit one, there's nothing to touch. It's not real. So I'm just wondering, where is the attraction? That one I've never understood when people bring up the cartoon. And I get it. She's sexy and sultry the way she's painted up. But there's, again, nothing to actually really touch.
How about this, though? If you're one of those people that have a problem with Jessica Rabbit, imagine them watching the movie Heavy Metal.
Oh,
because every chick in that movie,
right, is voluptuous and curvy and all that, right? Troy Ortiz says, "I'll be rooting against the Saints from now on." Big O. Christina Hendricks is fine. Yeah, I would have to go with that. Madam Ginger, built like a freaking brick house. That she is. That she is, my friends. That she is. All right, we got to wrap it up here on the program. As always, we thank everybody that has locked it in here. Before we go, on a sad note, our thoughts and prayers go out to the Tennessee Volunteers and the Pitt Panther family. Johnny Majors, the Hall of Famer, passed away at the age of 85 today. He led Pitt to their national title back in 1976. Obviously a legend in college football, a guy that is, considered back in the day one of the better coaches of all time, Johnny Majors. So our thoughts and prayers to the Major family and obviously to those schools who he impacted in a major way, pun intended. Much better place, a place we will be at and hanging out with Johnny one day. So rest in peace, Johnny Majors. We thank all the great people out here, as always, Jose and company out here at VSS West Pines, making it nice and easy. On the Super Chat, we thank Julius305 chiming in a couple times on the Super Chat, and Myron Sanchez on the Super Chat. Appreciate all of you out there, as always, keeping it locked, listening in, downloading, watching, sharing the link.
Wow. Recent research has shown
Super Chat.
makes no sense.
Yeah, you're getting focused on all the wrong sort of details here. You need to forget about all the normal rules that apply in society.
Wasted no time. Super Chat. I thought it was really, 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 really cool.
You should all be very proud of yourself.
I have no response.
Super Chat.
That was perfect.
Super Chat. We sunk you. Thank you, as always, keeping it locked here on the show. We will see you tomorrow. We'll be at Toyota of Hollywood, 1841 North State Road 7. Come on out there at 11 a.m. Okay, we'll be back here at VSS West Pines next Wednesday and the following Wednesday at noon. As always, we start at noon here, although we started a little earlier, like 11:45.
I was just going to elaborate. I want you to know you turned 2 half hours, the front end and the back end. I don't know how you did it, into 45 minutes.
Okay.
You're astounding in this capacity, sir.
All right.
I wish we could squeeze money like that, okay? Turn half hours into 45s, turn 50s into hundreds, you know.
Well, maybe once this pandemic is over, we can get the sponsors back on track and get the show back on track. But anyway, thank you all out there. As always, we will see you tomorrow out at Toyota of Hollywood. Friday, Craig's in Acura, so 2 more road trips for us throughout the week. You all be safe out there. Much love.
Thank you all. We'll see you tomorrow. Be safe.
This is the Big O Show.